streaming. Haven't dropped any frames. Oh, there we go. It should be
Are we
working
live?
now. It should be working.
Right.
It's...
Oh, I can see us. That's
Yay! It's
perfect.
working.
Yay.
Okay, great.
Oh, that's cool.
Hopefully. Okay. There we
Right, so
go.
there's a live chat here.
Let me actually...
Oh, that's weird. I can see my face at the same time. Ooh.
Okay, yay! We're live. Let me, Oh, no. Okay. I have to stay on this page, that's why. Okay, we are live. Let me move this over here so that's not in the way.
Hey, it worked.
Yay!
Is anyone here yet?
I don't see anyone, but let me say that we're live.
Okay. Can I get like a link to it? Is there like a share button?
Yeah, should be on the
Yeah.
stream.
Right, I found it.
Let's go on Twitter. Okay. Cool.
If anyone has already joined, they're gonna think we're like so boring, just sat in silence.
Live streams are so weird because there's like a good amount of time where you're just like trying to tell people that you're live. So in the beginning, it's just
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
kind of
okay. We'll
weird.
work it out. Right. I'll keep promoing until we've noticed that someone's joined.
I think one person. Actually, no, maybe not. Maybe that might be wrong. Okay. I'm also going to take a picture
Nice.
for Instagram.
Me posing. I've learned from the past that I don't want to be caught out. I don't want to be caught off guard in one of these Zoom pictures. Is anyone here yet? I wouldn't know. No clue. It's okay. We'll keep going until we find someone.
Oh, there's one person. Olga.
Oh,
Yay! Hi.
yay! Our promo worked.
Okay.
We found one.
We should answer her question.
Yes. Which was it was I remember. It was like, what is our least favorite part of making music, I think.
Let me think for a second. Let me get my thoughts in order. I think the least favorite part probably is like trying to get your ideas to become a reality, like exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah.
Cuz like I enjoy writing a lot. It's like I think that's like a very fun process, especially when you have like a certain topic that you want to write about, and it can feel like very cathartic sometimes. But I think the point where it gets like a little hard is like making that into like an actual like song that you put out there.
I feel that. I would say the hardest part for me is keeping like my motivation going, because I'll get like a massive strong burst of motivation and I'll write like a really good first verse, and then it will like sometimes take me so many more months to just pick up my like ukulele or guitar again, and sometimes I just can't maintain that motivation. And even though I've got like this vision in my head, like it can take me so much effort to just get back into it sometimes. But I think overall I like music. Yeah, well, obviously musician here, but like, yeah, I feel like there are a lot of bits that can be challenging, but when you like actually release something, it feels like it's all worth it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's more people here.
There are. I don't
Yeah, it said before on mine it said there were 2 people, and now it says 4.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
one of those is me, but like it has gone up a bit. So hello if anyone else is here.
Olga said both of those answers make so much sense. Thank you.
I'm glad they did.
Yes.
Thank you. I do talk load of nonsense sometimes. So
I was gonna ask you what was like, if you're like feel comfortable talking about it, what was your inspiration for your song that you just released, our stories over.
I guess it's kind of like I've always wanted to hold on to people from the past, like, like childhood friends and people. Sometimes it's hard to accept that things are over
Mm-hmm.
and like people move on. And I don't know, the song was kind of about like finding closure and how sometimes that can be hard and you don't quite feel ready to move on, or, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
something along the lines of that. What
Yeah.
was the inspiration behind your song?
Um, I honestly, it was mostly inspired from like just one lyric that I thought of, and it wasn't even like a lyric. It was more like of a feeling I had, and then I wrote down that feeling, and it's the first lyric in the song. I wish I could melt into the floor.
Oh, I love that.
Um,
Yeah.
and like after I thought of that, I was like, actually, I thought that I wrote it down, and I was like, that's actually a pretty good lyric. So I think I should probably
Mhm.
write a song around that feeling.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how you were able to create something so good from that one lyric. Like it's amazing.
Thank you. It honestly took like, I want to say it took like 3 days to write the entire thing, cause
That's
I wrote I thought of the lyric, and then like I think a couple days later I was like, okay, I should probably write something for this and stop procrastinating.
yeah.
And then I wrote like a verse or two and a chorus, and then I was like, actually the original song had a bridge. Fun
Ooh.
fact. And then
Oh,
I got rid of it because it made the song too long.
oh, that's really interesting actually.
Yeah.
I saw you had like an interesting like reason behind the title. What was that story again? Like someone had taught you that word or
Oh yeah. So when I was in high school, we used to have these,
Mhm.
like, like how in elementary school you have spelling tests. Well, we
Yeah.
we had like something similar to that in high school, which is basically like definitions tests, where for
Oh.
like, because in the US you have the SATs, and like
Oh yeah.
part of the English section is like just knowing like a lot of words.
Hmm.
So we had like this packet of words, and we would have to every week there'd be like 7 to 10 of them that we had to learn, and then we had a quiz on them. So
Nice.
one of the words was ennui, and it like
Uh,
became one of my favorite words because I was like, oh, it's so cool.
yeah.
Like, it just means like boredom, or like existential boredom, but it's just like such a fancy way of saying it. And I was like,
Hmm. Yeah.
I love this word now.
I'd never heard of the word before your single, and then like as soon as you were putting up the pre-save link, I like googled it and I was like, "Ooh, nice word."
Yeah. I love when another one of my favorite words, I think, is from that same like period, is emaciated. And one of my favorite songwriters, etc., Phoebe Bridgers,
Oh yeah.
she's like a part of this super group called Boy Genius, and they like released an EP, and one of the lyrics is, I want to feel emaciated, I want to feel, wait, how's it go again? I want to feel emaciated, I want to hear one song without thinking of you. And originally the way emaciated means like down to like the bone, like you look like a skeleton. And
Oh,
originally
okay.
the way I interpreted that was like, oh, like you want to feel like you're like so consumed by like that person that they like make you feel emaciated, like down to the bone. But then she was like, no, it's just like, I'm just talking about anorexia there. And I was like, oh, okay.
So you'd seen it on like a metaphorical level.
Yeah. And she was like,
Nice.
no, I was being literal.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know I'd be getting a whole English lesson today. I'm loving learning these new words.
Yeah, those are my
Oh,
like two favorite words.
Tarkin's just joined.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are
We've
you
got more
doing?
people watching now.
Yeah.
By the way, anyone, if you've got any questions, let
Yeah.
us know.
Put it in the chat. Hi, Natasha.
Yeah. Hello. Big wave for everybody. Yeah. I've lost my train of thought.
We were
We were
talking
talking
about
about
English lessons.
skeleton. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's sometimes something that's always frustrated me a little bit is when in English lessons and you are like analysing a poem or a book. and you think you know what it's about, and then the teacher's like, no, that's not what it's about. But the teacher didn't write it. So
Wait,
it's just, I've always
wait,
thought,
your teachers
imagine if
always
I
tell
was an
you,
author that had,
wait,
what if
your teachers always tell you that's not what it's about?
my, yeah, but my teacher isn't the author of the book. I've always
Yeah.
thought, like, what if I wrote a poem and it had to be like perceived by a class? I bet they would get it completely wrong. I've always
That's
thought of
so
that.
that's so weird cuz I that was not my experience in high school at all.
Uh,
Like we were encouraged to just make stuff up and like come to our own conclusions about what things meant. So like I would like I think that was my favorite part about English was just
mhm.
like being given a poem and then being told to interpret it however you want, and
Yeah.
then you could just make stuff up and they'd be like, okay, cool, that's cool, I
I
believe
mean,
you.
yeah, I do quite like that.
So I,
Sometimes people like will ask me about my own song lyrics, and they will tell me that the way they interpreted it was like completely different to what how I meant it.
yeah.
But I feel like in a way I like it to be up for interpretation, because I guess if a song can mean something to someone else and like something different to me, I don't know, I quite like that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I like 100% agree with that. Like, I think honestly, like when a songwriter kind of reveals exactly what the song is about, it can kind of ruin it sometimes because then you're like, oh, you meant this
Yeah.
specific thing, and like that's not
Yeah.
the meaning I kind of brought to it in order to like I don't know relate it to myself or whatever. So, but I don't know. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's like such a heated topic whether or not songwriters should like explain the meaning, like the exact meanings behind their songs versus like just letting their audience kind of just like figure it out and
Yeah.
take whatever they want from it, which I think is like kind of like the point of art, you somebody creates something and then you take what you need from it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I feel like, yeah, I agree. Sometimes there can be a song and it like brings me comfort, and then like curiosity will get the best out of me, and I'll Google it and I'll find the real meaning, and I'll be like, no, that's not what the song is about. No. And the worst thing was when I misheard a lyric. So I thought this song had the word bad in it, but I misheard the word dog for some reason. So what I thought was like a really sad song wasn't even a sad song, and finding that out online was a hard experience for me.
Yeah, yeah. I like um I think something that I think I've learned a lot from it's like someone like Taylor Swift, where like
Mm,
I feel like she doesn't really explain a lot of her. I mean, no, that's a lie. I think in the past she's like left clues and hints to who certain songs are about, and that's what she was
mm,
kind of like known for. Um, and then really recently she's just been like releasing albums or whatever and then just like not saying anything on the topic and being like, all right,
yeah,
there you go, you guys, good luck. I think that's like honestly my preferred method because that it just makes it more fun. Like people are allowed to pull out whatever they want to pull out,
yeah,
and kind of just like I think also makes it fun for the people who are fans because then they could be like, oh, this is what I thought and this is what I thought versus being like, oh, this is the exact thing.
yeah. I agree with that. I like seeing people's theories on Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah,
I've seen them everywhere, and I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I do like that. I think, yeah, I prefer it that way when they leave it up for interpretation. But then again, when I get DMs like asking what my song is about, I'm not gonna be like, no,
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
tell
exactly.
them. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like if they want to know, they can find out. But yeah, there have been a few times where people have been disappointed at the interpretation. I had some friends ask me about some certain lyrics and that they thought were way deeper, and they were just literal. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone got any questions? I've seen that more people have joined,
Yeah,
so I'm
more
like,
people have
hi,
joined. Tarquin
what
just
are you
asked
doing?
how are we doing? I'm doing
I'm
great.
doing good, thank you.
I was like dealing with COVID, for this past
Yeah,
week. But
are you feeling better
I'm
now?
feeling so much better.
Oh, that's
Um
so
compared like the first 2 days, I was like dealing with like a lot of fevers and chills, and that was kind of bad because it was like hard to fall asleep. But I haven't had
Yeah.
any like, I don't think any like major severe symptoms, which is, you know, great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I'm so glad you're feeling better.
yeah,
I saw every time you tweeted, I felt so bad for you because like you had it so hard this week. Like
yeah.
it's been a long time for you.
It's been a long week. But
Yeah.
we made it, and I get to. I think tomorrow's my last day that I have to stay inside, and I'm doing
Oh,
like, I'm doing another live stream actually with my podcast, and then
oh, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, and then I'm gonna talk to some friends who lives in California who I haven't talked to in a while, so that'll be fun.
Right. Yeah. You've literally been through everything this week.
Yeah.
Like you had a single out. You've been ill. Now you're having to put up with this.
No.
I just feel like
This is a good part of my week.
even for me, I feel like this week has lasted like 5 weeks. It's
Yeah.
been so long. I think what really did it for me was staying up late for my single.
Mm-hmm.
That like really messed up my body clock. I've just been like surviving on coffee for the rest of the week.
Oh. I one time in high school, I like got 3 hours of sleep because I was up late watching Glee.
Oh wow.
And the next day I got like a huge cup of coffee, and as like a pretense, I don't drink coffee. And at that
Oh
point I
no.
didn't drink coffee like regularly, but I was like I need to stay up for the next 8 hours.
Oh, I can see
So
how this is.
so I took like a huge cup of coffee and I just drinking it on the way to school. And then by the time I got there, my hands were just like this. It was really bad. I don't
Yeah,
recommend doing that. Um,
that does that sounds like an experience. At
yeah,
least.
it was not great, and especially
Uh,
because we have to be at school like from like 7:30 to like
uh,
4:30. So just like
oh,
yeah,
that is horrible.
yeah.
I have to be in by like 20 to 9.
Oh,
So
that
that's
sounds nice.
that's so much later. It gives me time to like have my little cycle and then I'm not half asleep at least.
Oh,
And then
how do you like biking to school?
I did at first, okay. It's like a 30-minute cycle there, and then to switch things up, I do like a 40-minute cycle back.
Mm-hmm.
And at first it was nice. It was like, oh, look, I'm exercising, I'm out in the fresh air. But now when it's every single day and I pass the same people and my
Oh,
legs are achy, it's just like, no. And the worst thing is when I get caught in the rain and I arrive at school soaking wet and
oh yeah.
everyone tells me to wear a coat, but I do wear a coat and like I cycle so fast it comes off my head. Like it doesn't work. But at least I can say I do like some sort of exercise, even
Mm-hmm.
though it's not much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to bike in college because the campus that I was on, it was like a biking
Mm.
campus.
Okay.
That was like the main way that people got around because the campus was so big. So
Oh,
like
that's
in my junior year we had like a hit there the place I was chill, basically not like huge, but like it was like pretty steep that you had to go up for like a pretty
Mhm.
long time to get there. And
Yeah.
I remember one time I like it was pouring rain. It was like just the rain coming down like this, and I had to go
Oh,
to a building in order to go for office hours so that I could get help with my homework. So I was like, "Okay, gotta put on my raincoat and just go for it." I go there, I'm soaking wet by the time that
oh
I get
no.
there. Like my pants, I've been like soaked through, and I sit down in the wetness, and then I like get the help that I need, and then I have to bike still pouring rain all the way back up. It was
Oh,
horrible.
oh no. The fact that I can relate to that is worrying.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know that feeling. But it's most days a week at the moment. Like the weather's just gone so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just worried that one day it's going to get cold and it's going to snow or it's going to hail whilst I'm having my bike ride.
Oh
I don't think
no.
that.
That sounds
No,
really bad.
because then you get cold and wet, and
Yeah.
together that's not a nice combination.
Yeah.
Don't even know how I got on the bike topic, but
Uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were
Hoppers.
talking about coffee, weren't we?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we were. Hopper is still alive. Said, "Hey, Belle."
Hello.
Is that a reference to
I'm here.
Stranger Things?
So
Because you're correct. Have you watched Stranger Things?
I haven't watched Stranger Things, so yeah, that makes no sense to me. I watched 2 episodes, the first series,
Uh huh.
but then I don't know. It was all right. I just kind of gave up. I'm more into stuff that's easy to watch because that's the
Mm.
type of person I am. I watch stupid programs,
What do
like
you
for
watch?
example, Glee. Yeah, I watch a bunch of nonsense really. I don't really have any program that I'm like specifically attached to. I mean, I used to enjoy watching The Good Place, but then when
Mm.
that ended, I kind of got a bit like, nah, okay. Like it was good at the time, but like, yeah.
Are you watching
I
anything right now?
um I started watching New Girl, but then I
Mm.
kind of gave up on that. Like I think I'll continue, but
Continue, New
and what
Girl.
else
It's
do I
so
watch?
good. I love
Is
that
it
show.
does it get good? Like, well, I mean, it already is good. I like the characters; they seem fun.
I think
Yeah.
I honestly think the first season of New Girl is like good, but it gets like better with more
Okay.
time. It gets like
Okay.
so much like because the first season is like kind of good because you kind of get to know the characters a little bit,
Mhm.
and season later on the characters just become like more of an archetype of themselves. You know,
Okay.
they just become wackier and it's fun. It gets funnier.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will stick with it then.
yeah.
You've kind of encouraged me to put
It's
more effort into it.
it's
What
really
have you been
good.
watching? Have you
Oh,
got any recommendations?
Oh, I was also gonna say Taylor Swift shows up in like one of the season finales of New Girl, so I would recommend watching.
Okay, you've sold me.
Yeah, uh,
Oh, I love a good cameo. I love
yeah.
that.
What have I been watching?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was watching this. I was rewatching a show with my mom because I was like, oh, this is so good. I need to watch it again with somebody. It's called
Oh,
12 Monkeys. I don't know if you'd like it though, since you didn't like Stranger Things. It's like very like, it's very heavy, like like not like in
okay.
like topic sense, but like, it's like a time travel show, and there's like a lot of like interconnected loops of things going on.
Oh,
So if it's like something you kind of have to like pay attention to while you watch.
yeah.
So
Am I going to be smart enough for this? I'm not
it's not
sure.
even if
I'm
you're
not
it's
very
not
good at
it's not even if you're
TV shows.
smart enough. It's more just like, do you have enough brain power to like look at it for like, because I literally binge watched it in 3 days because it's only like four
Wow.
seasons. But I was just like,
Only 4 seasons.
yeah.
That's a lot of seasons for me. I'm not good at binge watching.
But like
I'm
it's like it does take like a lot of like just like, oh, because I feel like the cool thing about it is that there's like a lot of like, oh my gosh, that thing that just happened now makes sense because of something that happened like in a later episode. It's like one of those shows where like
that
everything
sounds
is super
good.
interconnected. So I
I
don't.
like stuff like that.
Oh, okay, then maybe you'd like it.
Yeah,
It's
it really depends on which day it is. Like sometimes I have the concentration for that type of stuff, and
hmm,
then sometimes just stick on Glee, and
yeah.
then everything is good.
I'm trying to think if there's any other shows I've been watching. Oh, I've been watching a lot more like cartoons and anime and stuff like that. Like I watch um
Oh, that's cool. I'm talking about anime on.
I
Okay, sorry, go on.
no, it's okay. I've been watching Sailor Moon because I got. Wait, let me show you. I have to show you.
Ah, yeah, I saw your tweets about that, and I was intrigued.
Uh, I got this makeup and I was like, oh, now that I have this makeup, I now have to watch this show because why would I buy this makeup if I didn't watch this show? But it's like
Is it
this.
Sailor Moon makeup?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so
but
cute.
it goes back and forth like that.
Oh, that's impressive.
And
It's
then
like,
this is the blush that came with it too, and it goes like that.
oh, it's a
Yeah,
cat.
there's a cat in the
Oh,
show.
well, if Sailor Moon has a cat, then I'll watch that.
But it's a really cute show. I've been watching that, and then I've also been watching Adventure Time.
Oh, nice. I've watched a bit of that, but not a lot. I
Yeah,
used to watch it when I was younger.
I also used to watch it when I was younger, like because I think it came out when I was 11, so I used to watch it around then, and then I just never continued watching it. So I was like, I feel like I should, especially because they have what's it called? They have like a movie coming out for the Adventure Time with
Do-
yeah, with Marceline and Princess Bubblegum.
Oh, that sounds quite fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cute. So I was like, oh, I should watch the show before I watch
Yeah.
this movie.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of always heard about anime and I've thought it sounds cool, but I've never actually watched any. So I feel like that's something I need to try, and also just more cartoons in general. I need to try harder to have interests in TV shows pretty much because
Honestly,
I'm
having
not great.
having interest in TV shows is kind of exhausting because
Yeah,
like I like get hooked on like really good shows and then it's like, oh, it got canceled. And you're like, okay.
that is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Stop playing with my heart like this.
I know. Like I was watching on Netflix the Teenage Bounty Hunter show because one of my other Twitter mutuals got me into it, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
I'll watch it,
yeah.
and then like a week later the show got canceled, and I was like, how dare you do this to me? I was like, that's so
That's
rude.
not fair. Like sometimes when I see a show has been cancelled before I've even started it, it just puts me off watching it. If I
Yeah,
know I'm gonna get attached, I'm just like no.
yeah.
But
It's
it Netflix are cruel people,
they
pretty
really
much.
are. I like so with my college, I got to go visit like the Netflix one of the headquarters in California because I was like doing like
That's
a
cool.
I was doing like a it was like a entertainment trip or whatever where like over spring break, so it was like 1 week. They like you had to apply and then they just like whoever got it was able to go to like different um parts of like California to learn about the entertainment industry and the different roles you could have and just stuff like that. So we got to go to the Netflix headquarters, and I think someone asked why they cancel so many of their shows.
It's a
I
valid
Yeah,
question.
I don't remember the answer though, but I was just like, it's like true because like, I mean, I think it's because they like a show has to have like a huge amount of like success in order to like stay on their
I
platform.
know.
But like, how am I
Oh,
supposed to watch anything on Netflix if I'm not sure if it's gonna get
I know.
another season? Like,
I have trust issues with Netflix. Like
yeah,
every time a show seems like too good, I'm just worried that it's too good to be true and it's gonna get cut next season.
yeah.
Just so mean. I mean, like I feel like we should set up a GoFundMe for all the shows that were cancelled. We'll support you.
But also, my opinion on cancel shows has shifted so widely because like in the beginning I was like, oh yeah, no, let's try to get these shows like renewed and like on a different network, and they like, worked with like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then I watched the next season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and it wasn't as good, and I was like, okay, so then what was the point of me doing this?
But
So
maybe they cut it for a good reason to
yeah,
make us all feel better before we're let down.
yeah, that's another thing. It's like sometimes shows just aren't really that good past the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like some of them you could stretch it into a couple more seasons.
Yeah,
Like my favorite shows could go on for a bit longer.
yeah, I agree.
It's
Eric,
heartbreaking. And
Eric said only
Eric
four
agrees with
seasons.
me.
He said only 4 seasons in three
It's
days.
only 4 seasons in 3 days, which 4 seasons is a lot. Were they short episodes or were they like the full on?
But the seasons weren't long. They were like an hour episodes, but the seasons were like 11 to 12 episodes each.
That's long.
That's
Oh my
not
god,
long. That's
that
literally
is so
not long.
long.
If you don't do
My
anything but watch it for the day, it's not long. That's like
that is
no,
long.
it's not.
I can't. I really am bad at sticking with Netflix. I'll watch like one 20-minute
It's
episode
not
and then
even
I'll
on
like
Netflix. It's
go
on
on my phone.
Hulu.
I just okay, yeah, but anything. I I feel like I've got a really bad attention span when I'm watching TV shows. Like, and then when I'm in school and they expect us to watch a whole video on the screen without going on our phones, That's so hard for me now because anything I'm watching at home, I'm on my phone. I really need to get out of that habit, but like
See,
sometimes I'm
Eric
not
agrees
committed.
with me. He said, "Okay, then it's doable. It
No,
is
it's not
doable."
doable. You lose your life by doing that. That's like 3 days of your life
But what
sitting watching
I
a
wasn't
show. I
like I
couldn't
was
do that.
only sitting and watching the show. I was doing other things while watching the show.
Okay, that sounds easier to do if you're multitasking because
Yeah.
I like a bit of a multitask. But then how do you concentrate? I can't concentrate whilst multitasking.
Oh, I just don't concentrate really well on the other thing. So I was paying more attention to the show.
Okay. I'm the other way round. I'm not committed enough to the show ever.
It depends
I
what
don't
type of show it is, honestly.
I don't know what Netflix would have to do to make me enjoy a TV show loads, but I don't know.
Also, maybe TV also is just not for everyone, I believe, honestly. Like, some people are.
I feel like it's one of those things that everyone loves, but
I don't know. I feel like I have a good amount of friends who don't. It's not necessarily like that into watching TV. I feel like that's like a Twitter thing.
I guess it is. I know lots of people. I don't even know what it is. What even is that thing where people on Twitter it posts what they're watching? Have you
Oh
seen that?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
And
like
I'm
a TV tracker thingy majig.
I'm just so impressed at how many episodes they go through in a row, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
What did Eric say?
He said I
You
can
can probably
probably
watch.
watch 45 minutes episodes per day if it's really good show. I can here's my problem, okay? Here's my
Okay,
problem.
go ahead.
I it depends on my mental health. If my mental health is bad, I can do it for longer. Because I don't want to move. I one time watched The Office the entire and I don't. The fun thing about The Office is I don't remember huge chunks of it because I watched it. I literally just been watched it day after day, 24 hours a day. But I watched that show in a month. I watched the entirety of The Office in a month.
Wait a second. There's a lot of The Office,
There's
isn't
10
there?
seasons of The
The Office.
Office. And I watched it in a month when I was really depressed over the summer one time.
Oh wow. Is it a good show?
It's okay. It's okay. I,
Oh wow, that's impressive.
I,
Maybe
but
you should try and get a world record in
I
this.
don't think
You
that's
do sound good at
I don't think
things.
that's a world record, even a world record thing. Because I was talking to my friend and who I do the podcast with, and she said that one time when she was also depressed one time and then binge watched the entirety of the Vampire Diaries in like a few weeks. So when you're depressed,
Wow.
sometimes things because sometimes you're just not you just need something in the background and you're not even really like paying attention, you're just like
Mhm.
sitting there and then clicking the next episode. So yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I've never seen either of those two shows you just listed, but I know that they go on for many seasons.
Yeah.
So,
I don't even think it's an
well
accomplishment.
done.
It's just sad.
I feel like the most episodes of something I've ever watched in a row is maybe like four, and like they were 20 minutes each. So I'm not very good at this. There's just this one day when I was off school ill, and I thought, oh, it's okay. I have the day off school, so now I can watch loads of Netflix. And then literally 2 episodes, and I was bored. And
Well,
yeah,
so
I'm not good at Netflix.
wait, so what do you do like when you're cuz I watch like TV when I'm bored. So what do you do when you're
Mm,
bored?
I do nothing. I'm just like sat on my phone doing stupid stuff that isn't even interesting. I don't know how I find that more interesting than TV. I just feel like as soon as I switch on the TV, I'm just wanting to go back on my phone. Like
Mm.
it's probably not a good thing, but yeah, I just never get too attached to any sort of TV show. I just never do.
Mm.
Like
I feel
I
like
would prefer I think what I prefer is going on YouTube and just watching
yeah.
random compilations of it. Like just skip to the best parts.
Oh yeah,
Or like
I get that.
I'll just like go on, if there's like a certain actor in a show I like, then I'll go and watch videos of just them. Or if there's like, I don't know, just certain scenes that I want to watch, then I just go to YouTube,
Oh
which is
wait, that reminds me.
what?
Because sometimes I do that, but I just do that while I'm watching the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That
so that's what
theory
happened with the
multitasking.
with like The Office or
Uh-huh.
like Parks and Recreation. There are certain
Yeah.
plot lines I didn't care about, so I was like, I'm skipping this. I'm going to the next scene.
Oh
So I think that's
nice.
also how I got through it so fast. Sometimes I will just skip parts that don't make me feel good. Because I'm like,
That's a
I
good
don't care about it at all in the first place, so why should I just
yeah.
watch it? It's not like gonna be like something that's like so like if it's not something that's so important to the show that I need to know, I'll just skip it.
Hmm. I wish I could be more like that, you know. Sometimes I will force myself to watch every single episode of one season just so I can get to the next season.
Mm,
When I could, in reality, just skip some episodes.
yeah, especially if it's a show that's not like dependent on like multi
Yeah,
episode storylines, you're probably
but
fine.
I don't think I would be able to live for myself if I did that. I would be like watching the next episode, panicking that I'd like missed something from the episode before.
Mm. Oh
Yeah.
wait, and another thing that I did when growing up was, do you know the show Degrassi?
Yes, I think I've seen a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I like started watching that in middle school. And then I
Hmm.
stopped for a second and then I was like, okay, I want to watch now. But I was like
Yeah.
it's too many episodes to watch cuz like it's a show that's been on since like the 80s, right? So
Whoa.
there are
Yeah.
like different like iterations of it. So I was like,
Uh.
I don't feel like watching all of the next generation part of this. So I'm just literally just gonna go on Wikipedia. I'm gonna read all the plot lines up to where I'm gonna look for the story plots that
No.
interest me. I'll watch those, and then I'll just be caught up that way.
No.
Yeah, and
That's going too far. No. Wow.
eventually I did watch the entire thing, but like that's what I
Uh-huh.
initially did because I was like, I don't want
I
to watch all
feel
of this.
I I couldn't do that. I sometimes with shows that don't matter which episode you watch in which order,
Mhm.
I'll like go online and look up which episodes are the best, like
Mhm.
ranked from 1 to 10 or
Mhm.
whatever. But that was an issue when I was trying to watch Black Mirror because I watched all of the good ones first and then I wanted to watch all the others and they were just a bit like meh
Yeah.
because I wasted all of the good ones, which was kind of a mistake.
Mm.
But lots of the time, also, if there is like a certain actor in a show that I really prefer over the others, like I think they're funny or whatever, then I will go and deliberately try and find something that they're in. And then, yeah, I don't really have a strict pattern to watching Netflix, but overall, I'm really bad at it. Like, it's not one of my talents. Not that it's something that you'd call yourself talented in, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But also, it's been so hard for me to watch TV recently, just because of the whole like, I don't know if this show's gonna get canceled or not thing, or just like finding something that interests me that I haven't like seen before. So
Yeah.
it's just hard. I feel like even though we're kind of like in the golden age of TV because there's so much of it, that means it's so much harder to find something that's actually worth watching.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll literally be scrolling for ages and ages, and then I'll put something on, have it on for 5 minutes, then be like, no, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
There was
it
one
is.
time
It is
that.
difficult.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. My point wasn't very interesting.
I was
You
just
say what you were going to say.
I was just gonna say there was one time that I was watching a movie and then halfway through I realized it was bad, but I was like I had invested so much time in it already. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
have to finish it now because
Uh,
what was this first hour for if I don't finish it?
yeah, that is the hard thing. I feel exactly the same. The amount of time I've probably wasted in my life watching bad movies just so I can see what happens at the end. Yeah. We need to change this. We need
Yes.
to stop being nice to films that aren't even good.
Yes.
We need to cut them out.
Except for the films that are so bad that they become good.
Like oh, like I don't know, like the ones with really bad graphics when everything's falling apart.
Have you ever watched
I
any of the original Spider-Man movies? Because I watched like one and
no,
two with my roommates in college in our dorm, and they were so bad that they were good. Like,
really.
yeah, it was like such outdated like graphics and just like it like felt like I was watching a comic book unfold,
Uh,
and I was just like, this is so bad. It's great. I love it.
I do like films that are bad, but not bad bad. Like what you were saying, bad. It reminds me of this. It's not a film, but once we went on like a school trip to the local theatre to
Mm-hmm.
watch Legally Blonde the musical.
Oh.
And like literally every time they pulled those ropes to like make the props come down, things were like literally falling onto the stage. It was like so bad. And they were trying to do American accents, but they sounded completely British. It was like bad but funny. Like we were all sat laughing at the back of this theatre whilst their props fell on the stage, which was a bit tight, but like and I don't know, it sometimes things can be good but bad.
Yeah.
No, the other way around, bad but good.
Yes. Yes.
Well, not necessarily good, but funny.
Yeah, I think there is a certain I think that could also work for music. Sometimes I find
Mm-hmm.
music that's so bad that it's good. Okay? I
I'm
ha-
gonna need a playlist of these.
here's one song that's a joke. It's a comedy song. It's from a comedy show. It's
Okay.
it's not, but it's so bad that it's good, and I love it so much.
I'm excited. I do find myself learning to love the songs that I used to listen to ironically.
Mm, this song.
Like it used to be a joke and then all of a sudden, oops, it's on my Spotify.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
Sounds good.
I'm a Lamborghini. I'm a Hollywood star. I'm a little bit
This isn't bad.
when I drive my
I think the lyrics are really bad, but also funny. It's like bad in a funny way.
I'm a little
Okay.
bit single, even when I'm not. I'm a little bit.
Oh, it's gonna be a Pete drop.
I'm a little bit of.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it because I don't. This is gonna get copyrighted, whatever.
Good. I bet if the person who wrote that song was watching the live now, they'd be sat crying. Now you just said it's a bad song.
No, the person who
Oh,
made that, it's a comedian, so it's like
okay,
intentional.
okay,
It's
that's fine.
intentional.
But I thought that was a good song. Now I'd like to hear more of your songs that are so bad that they're good.
Let me try to think. I feel like all of the songs from the early 2000s of my childhood are so bad that they're good. Like, you know Miranda Cosgrove?
Yeah.
Her songs are so cheesy and like, but they're good. They're just good, okay? Like,
I
sh-
like
sure, they're
I
not like the
I
best songs in the world, but I love them to my core.
everything was so much easier back then. You know, listening to those songs from when I was young. Now the lyrics on the songs aren't great, but they're nice to listen to. They're happy. I feel like lots of the stuff on the radio at the moment is the same. It's the same like dance tune all the time.
Yeah.
And I kind of I like going on Spotify and listening to those throwback Thursday playlists, and it's nice.
Yeah.
I wish one day they would just decide to start playing that music again, like in shops and on the radio. Be good. But that's never gonna happen.
I want to go to one of those. Have you ever seen like these advertised where it's like a party, like a club party, but it's like full of throwback songs?
Yeah,
Like
have.
I saw like a one for like a One Direction, and I saw one for like Hannah Montana, and I was like, I want to go so bad.
Sign me up. Oh my goodness. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I was gonna go to one of those this year, and then the pandemic happened, so none of those are
Yeah.
happening. But
Well, that's top of my list for when this pandemic
Mhm.
finally starts to chill a bit.
It looks like so much fun.
I know. There are so many of these parties look fun to me. I feel like everything looks fun to me because I don't have much of a social life. But no, like I've always wanted to do like one of those glow in the dark ones, one of those foam ones, one of those, I don't know. There's so many good ones I want to turn up at, but
There's one where like I forget what it's called, but like basically everyone goes in and gets a pair of headphones, and then everyone's just
yeah,
listening to their own
a
type of
silent
music.
disco.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
agree one of those. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I heard that there was like one round here that's like a Welsh silent disco with Welsh music, and
Ooh.
I wanted to go and jam at one of those, but pandemic.
Everything is
No,
but pandemic.
I know. This I need to have a word with this pandemic. It's not been very kind.
It's not at all.
No.
Uh,
I need to be at these Hannah Montana parties.
I love Hannah Montana music so much with a passion.
Good. It's so good.
If
I used to have like I can't even say it now. Hannah Montana game on my Nintendo DS.
Oh,
I
that's so
used to
much
play it
fun.
all the time, and it was so
I,
good.
I was so into Hannah Montana. Like,
Mhm.
I had bed sheets, I had like a purse, I got a Build-A-Bear that like
Oh,
played her
wow.
music. I
Okay.
was
I'm talking
like,
with a real fan here.
yeah, I was like
Like,
a real
okay,
fan.
you're a hardcore fan. I
Yeah,
was just a casual fan.
I was like so into it. And Hannah Montana music, I it like makes me feel like I'm on top of the world. Like if you are ever feeling down, I 100% like always say listen to Hannah
Yeah.
Montana music because she will make you feel better.
She makes you feel like Hannah Montana.
Mhm.
She makes you feel like a pop star with two lives.
Yeah.
I always really wanted to be her, you know. I always wish I could like have a wig that looked realistic enough to be a different person. But no offense to Hannah Montana, but it was the same face, the same voice.
Yeah.
You could tell it was her. What type of friends wouldn't know that was her? I
Um
would so know if my friend turned up with a blonde wig, like I would be calling them out straight away.
it's like the Superman phenomenon where it's like that's not real. Like I you can tell that who that Clark Kent and Superman are the same person, but like for the sake of the story, let's just act like they are two
No,
different people.
I know, but like 7-year-old me was already being critical of the whole plot. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
Natasha said something. She said, Hannah Montana is the best, but The Climb will always be my anthem.
Yeah, I love The Climb. Uh
It's a good song.
uh like I think another thing about Hannah Montana music is that she like the music is supposed to be for children. So like all the messages are like you can do this or
I
you can be a pop
know.
star too. And I'm like, "Yes,
I
thank you. I needed that."
all the other music that isn't from Hannah Montana, it's all about being sad and having like relationships and boring adult stuff. Whereas Hannah Montana, it's just nice and motivating.
Mhm.
Do you know what else I liked though? That I was a super fan of? High School Musical.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I,
I
I
completely agree.
yeah. I had like the same dress that Gabriella had, and I
Oh,
also
that's
had
so
a cheerleader
cute.
suit. I wish I still had a cheerleader costume that I could just get into sometimes.
Oh, that's so cute.
I think that would make me happier if I still owned the costume,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would fit.
Yeah, you've
No,
probably grown since then.
I always go back to High School Musical music. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Like the harmonies. It's like I can't get over the harmonies.
My favorite High School Musical is High School Musical 2. I like
Mhm.
distinctly like have like distinct memories of that movie because with the first High School Musical, I like don't actually remember watching it. I just like because I was like so young. But
Uh,
with the second one, I'd like gone over to my cousin's house and we were having a watch party for the movie. And then after that movie came out for Christmas, I got a High School Musical 2 CD. And I like carried the little leaflet that had the lyrics in it around with me all the time.
that's so
Hmm.
cute. Do you know what I had? You probably have this too because you're like the super fan of everything. But I had a High School Musical 2 toothbrush.
I did not have that.
Oh, haha. Well, I did.
Was it one of those ones that played when you brush your teeth?
Yeah. So it played, what time is it? Summertime.
Oh, nice.
And then it always cut out after it had been 3 minutes. So it like got rid of the best part. But it was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. I also had a Justin Bieber one, but that was just because it was on sale. I didn't ever really like Justin Bieber. It was just like £2 in the shop. So yeah.
With Justin Bieber and One Direction, with Justin Bieber and One Direction, I had instances where I was this close to becoming like a super fan, and then it just didn't happen, you know?
Yeah, I never found myself liking either of them. Like now I can appreciate their old songs. Like they're bops. Like oh my gosh, Justin Bieber, Boyfriend. I came back to that when I was like 16. I was like, oh yeah. But yeah. I feel like I missed out on being obsessed with like a boy band back in like whatever you call it. I don't even know when people were obsessed with boy bands, but everyone was over obsessed with One Direction or 5 Seconds of Summer. And then I was like,
go through that. I like.
Did you? Did you have a different boy band?
So One Direction, their entire first album I listened to, and like, you know, I was like a part of the craze or whatever, and then I was going through this phase where I was like, if everyone else likes this thing, I actually can't like it anymore, so then I just stopped listening to them.
Wow.
And that's
you were unique.
No, I wanted to be unique so bad.
Wow. I was the opposite. I wanted to like not Justin Bieber, what am I on about? I wanted to like 5 Seconds of Summer, but at the time when I was like 12, all of their songs sounded the same, and the girls would like play them in class and they would know all the words, and I was like, what, is this even a different song to the one you just played? But I've always just been a bit critical like that. I've been not very good at liking things that other people like. Like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I'll come back to them in the future and I'll be like, it wasn't actually that bad. But at the time, I really couldn't get myself into One Direction.
I have like the same issue where I'm like, for example with Lorde, I like did not listen to Melodrama until like months after it came out, because I was like, I don't know if I'll like this or not. I gotta form my own opinion. And then I listened to it. I was like, actually, you guys are correct. This is one of the best things in the world. I'm sorry for doubting the popular thing. You were correct.
The thing is, I didn't even listen to Lorde, and then I got a news article on my phone saying that she'd released this album and everyone on Twitter was crying over it. So I was like, oh my gosh, they're being so over dramatic. I'm gonna listen to it and I'm not gonna cry. It's not even that emotional. And then I clicked on it, I was like, oh, this is a masterpiece. And then that's how I ended up liking Lorde. And then like obviously I'd heard like some of her old stuff, like obviously like Royals and whatever, but then I just went through this phase of like listening to every single Lorde song, like, they're all so good.
Yeah.
I really need to start listening to her more. I can't wait for her to bring another album.
Yeah,
that is good.
She's such a treasure to the world, I feel like.
Yeah.
She just seems like such a free spirit. She's gonna
cure everyone when she brings out them. Everything's gonna be fine again.
Yeah. She has such like a free like spirit, and it's like so uniquely herself, you know.
I love how she dances. Like,
yeah, same.
She's like no one else is watching, and I love that. I wish I could be up on a stage being like that. I love it. She's just feeling the music through her body, and it's like, wow. I love also how she like will wear trainers with a dress. Like that looks so cool. And I don't know. Obviously, I love how she sings, and I love her fashion, and she's
such a cool person.
Like, why can't I be her?
Yeah.
I would like to be Lorde, please.
I think all of us on the inside a little bit wants to be a little bit like Lorde.
Yeah. I would like to be a little bit like many people. Like, I'd like to have a bit of Lorde, maybe some Taylor Swift, bit of Beyonce, and then also I'd like to stick in a bit of Eminem so I could have the rap skills. Like, I think that would be good at a party.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I my thing with rapping is I can't do it because I can't speak correctly normally.
Okay, fair enough. Your speaking sounds fine to me.
I like stumble over my words a lot.
Oh, do you? So I guess if you were trying to be like Eminem speed, then
It would not work out at all. No.
I just feel like my voice isn't a rap voice. Like it sounds too, I don't know, not rappy enough.
I feel like the closest you could probably get probably is like to like Dodie and what's the song?
Monster?
And Monster.
Yeah, like a stingy type of rap.
Yeah.
I have tried rapping before, but no, I don't have that voice. Sometimes you've just got to accept that you're not Eminem.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be him, just his rap skills would be pretty cool.
Hi, Maria.
Hello.
I think the one story I have about, because I didn't listen to Eminem growing up, even though like everyone was listening to Eminem growing up, but you know that one song he has with Rihanna? What's it called?
Oh, the Love the Way You Lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
song.
Oh gosh.
I have a story about that song.
Tell me this.
One time, I have people in my family who are technically not blood related, but I just call them my cousins because our parents are super close. So me and I went to go visit like my cousins in Georgia, and we're like hanging out in the basement, and two of them started fighting, right? So
Yeah.
they start doing like a rap battle between them, and they're just doing like the Love the Way You Lie rap. And then me and my other like step cousin, we're in the corner just like watching them like have this fight, and we're just singing.
That's so funny.
We're singing the song part to Love the Way You Lie. I think we were like I love the way you fight or something like that.
This sounds like the plot of Pitch Perfect a bit.
Oh really?
Was the film based on you? Like the little rap battle going on downstairs? Have you ever considered joining an a cappella group?
Oh, actually, I did try to join an a cappella group in college.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did not get a part.
Why not?
I
feel like you'd be good at that. Like zoom, 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 zoom. You could do a bit of that, or you could be the soloist, or you could be anything.
I think also at the time I was like very nervous during my audition, and I was like I just messed up a lot, so I was like, you know what?
Well, I'm not happy that they didn't accept you. I feel like getting a flight right now and going to shout at them and make them upset you.
I feel like it's probably for the best, because then if I did acapella,
Pitch Perfect.
But if I did acapella, no, to be honest, the reason why I wanted to do acapella was because of Pitch Perfect, like everyone else. But I feel like the reason why I think it's better that I didn't get it was because I don't think I'd probably be in the position that like the place I am now if I did acapella during college, because it like takes up a lot of your like time. Like
yeah,
you have to like go to like meetings a lot, and like I just saw with my friends who went through, and I was like, actually maybe it was for the best that I didn't get into this. Because then you can't do anything else.
No. I mean, I like Pitch Perfect, but I don't like Pitch Perfect enough to spend all my time doing a cappella.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching you live my dreams and doing a bit of a cappella. Maybe we should start an a cappella band.
Oh, that'd be fun. Belle, I'm not lying to you when I say I have like 3 band names like in my phone, and I'm like, someone please do a band with me so I can use one of these.
We would be a very good a cappella duo, and I'm sure we could find more people to join. We would be so cool.
Maria said I always used to audition badly, so I never got into shit like that. Low. Yeah, same.
It's okay. They can join our cappella group.
Yeah. In high school, I also auditioned for the school musical, and my friend got a part, but I did not get a part because I was so nervous.
That's so mean. How did you not get a part? What musical was it?
It was Rent.
You would have been great in that.
I probably wouldn't have even. I probably wouldn't have even. I probably would have gotten like a backing role because Rent is
What?
such a hard musical to do. Hi, Eric.
It's so mean of them to say no, though. I would accept you into anything.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, do my fancy wave.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then I also have an idea for the name of a collab album. So
Okay,
if you have a song and you're like, I don't know if this will fit on an album, but it'd probably be called a collab album, let me know.
I will let you know. Stick a bit of a cappella and we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I bet if we made an a cappella album, we could just hype it up on Pitch Perfect Stan Twitter. And our Spotify listeners would go up, like.
Yeah.
We need to like make a secret Pitch Perfect Stan account. Maybe that can be my new hobby. I'm trying to sneak into fan bases that aren't mine.
I think it's so easy to sneak into fan bases though.
Yeah. It's too easy. You just get a photo of them off Google, stick it as your profile picture, follow a bunch of them, and then you can sneak in.
Yeah.
Not that I've done that before. Maria said, wait. I'm really bad at reading these out.
It's easier for me because it just shows up on my end.
Mine keeps disappearing. Has it come up on your screen?
Yeah, she said, I still can't play any instruments, so all I can do is a cappella, so I'm in, and then laughing emoji.
That is a pro to being in an a cappella group.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, sometimes instruments just don't want to be played. They're like, no, thank you. I feel, but also it's the same with my voice. Like, my voice has bad days. Maybe imagine if you like were in an a cappella band and then you got a sore throat. Like,
yeah, that happened a couple of times to the a cappella groups that my friends were a part of.
That's not good. That's worrying.
But I think sometimes, because this happens to like artists when they're on tour too, and they either just have to sing through it, or I think they get given like a steroid to kind of help them out for the day.
I don't think I'd be very good on tour, you know. I don't think I'd be able to sing under that pressure. Oh gosh.
I feel like you probably learn.
Yeah, maybe, but I still don't think I would be good as like some of the people I've seen. Like, for example, Ariana Grande, I've seen her do very cool things. Like, for example, singing whilst lying down. I couldn't do that. I can barely sing while standing up.
Same.
And then, I mean, she's done concerts whilst being really ill. She's done it all. And like, people can say what they want about Ariana Grande, but like, I won't insult her until I learn how to do whistle notes whilst lying down. So
yeah, I don't think I'll ever reach that point, and I think I'm okay with that.
Right. I feel like some people, whilst I don't really listen to their music, I still have like a really strong sense of admiration for them. I'm like, how does your voice do that? Like,
yeah.
How?
Some people are just like really good, and then you're just like, I don't think I'll ever be that, but that's nice.
Yeah, I feel the same here. Sometimes, like, I can listen to other people's music and I'm like, wow, they're so good. But then sometimes I'm thinking, like, in a pessimistic way. And instead of thinking they're good, I'm thinking, I'm bad.
Yeah, same. Same. I totally relate to that.
Yeah. But lots of these people who I'm saying are, like, amazing. Their music is a completely different genre to mine anyways. So it's not like I'm ever going to get in, like, a musical battle with Ariana Grande. Like, I would like that.
I feel like the thing about, like, I guess, like, music in general is that it's so, like, subjective. So, like, sometimes what sounds, like, really bad to you, to other people sounds, like, great.
That's one of those things that frustrates me when I think someone is really talented and then I log onto Twitter and someone is, like, completely insulting this person. Like, recently someone was rating films and they gave a Drew Barrymore film a really low rating and I really like Drew Barrymore, so I was like, hang on a second. And I got like hurt about this. It was like 3 out of 10 or something. But it's just like, whoa, some people like I find it weird how things are subjective. Like sometimes I'm like, how can't people find this song amazing? Like, this is great, listen to it. And like, it's like Fergalicious, and they're like, no.
I love that you love Fergalicious so much.
Yeah, I didn't. Most people see Fergalicious as like a throwback song from their childhood, but I didn't find it until 2018. I was like on the school bus, like waiting to get to school, and I was almost there, and everything was boring. I was just skipping through a random playlist that Spotify had made me, and then that came on, and I was like, hang on a minute, that's really good. And then it got to like the bridge, and then I already wanted to start it from the beginning again, so I kept repeating it and repeating it. And then like I was sat in school all day, like really distracted from my work, because I was thinking, I can't wait to get back on the bus and listen to Fergalicious again. And that day was the best day ever. And I remember getting in the car and putting it on the speakers there. I must have streamed it so many times that one day. And then it became like an obsession for a while. Like I had a Fergalicious t-shirt that I'd wear to places. I mean, I still have it, but like I still enjoy Fergalicious, but not. I'm no longer obsessed with it to the point where it's like 20 times a day. Yeah,
it's so weird to me because I like a lot of like that type of music, like Fergie or what's the name of the band again?
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas. Like I just associate like a lot of that with my childhood, like like kind of music that you're not really paying that much attention to, but you know the lyrics to and you sing along to. So yeah, it's so interesting that you just like came into contact with it in 2018.
No, I mean, it was just so exciting. And then when I was showing it to everyone else, and they were like, "Yeah, we heard that in 2008." I was like, "Oh," but yeah, because I'd heard the Black Eyed Peas before, but like before then, I hadn't really paid attention to Fergie. To me, it was just like will.i.am, a couple of other guys, and a woman. And then, but then when I heard Fergie, I was like, whoa. But then recently, I went through every single Fergie song, trying to find another one that hit the same way as Fergalicious. But
it was like a one-hit wonder, huh?
Yeah, I wish I could go back and listen to it for the first time again. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any song that I feel that way about.
There must be. Go on. Guilty pleasure.
I don't know, because like I feel like growing up I wasn't really that much paying attention to like the music around me, so I don't really have anything from like my like childhood, I guess, or like from way back then that I like listened to and then thought, oh wait, Maria just said, didn't she sing Big Girls Don't Cry? Because that's a good song. That's actually a really good song. I like that song too.
But that song doesn't get you hyped up. That's like a boo-hoo song. Whereas Fergalicious is like, yeah, okay, carry on.
I was just actually, I don't know, maybe like something like Fireflies by Owl City.
That's still a good song. Okay. People almost ruined that by turning it into a meme, but it's so good.
There's so many things that have been turned into a meme that
I know. And now, like, when I see them being used as a meme, it like reminds me that they exist, so I go and listen to them. But then I feel like embarrassed to tell anyone what I'm listening to, because like kids these days see some best songs as memes, and that hurts me. Why do they have to do this?
I think TikTok has exacerbated this so much. Like songs that are just a part of my childhood, like "You Belong With Me" by Taylor Swift, and then kids are like, "Oh my gosh, this is the TikTok song," and I'm like, "No, get out of here! This isn't for you."
I remember I saw something recently. I don't know much about Zac Efron, so I don't really know the specific details. But he was in something quite recently. I don't know what. But everyone was saying now that kids are going to know him from his new stuff and they're not going to know about High School Musical. And that concerned me, because I just remember how good High School Musical was. Sorry, I'm talking about High School Musical.
No, it's fine.
But it some of these things that were just so key in my childhood, now people are gonna grow up not knowing they existed. That's worrying.
Yeah.
They're missing out.
You get older and then you realize, oh, I'm now old.
Yeah.
And now no one knows. Now my childhood experiences are just for old people.
Yeah. I'm glad we grew up in a time with High School Musical. Because at least like when I was younger, I didn't have a phone until I was 12. Now like they're giving iPads to babies.
I had a phone when I was 10.
You beat me.
Yeah, my mom.
I'm glad
It was my 10th birthday present. They were like, "You're turning double digits. Here's a phone."
Oh,
But it was like one of those flip phones.
I think everything would be better if we went back to those. I miss those. Oh my gosh. But
I think people still sell them. They're just not as popular.
But I wish no one had ever introduced me to smartphones because I would have been happy with a flip phone until someone's like, "Oh look, if you get this, you can play Candy Crush," and it's like, whoa. But what I find weird is how phones didn't used to have selfie cameras. Like, I can't believe we lived in a time where we used to have to go like, and then like try and get the right angle. Like, the fact that people won't even know about that now. It's like so much has changed in the last few years, and now there's babies with iPads and everything is weird.
The thing about me and my phone is that my front-facing camera sucks so bad. I still have to do this to get a good picture.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do use that camera just to try and see like what other people will be looking at me like. So because obviously on a selfie it like flips you around.
Yeah.
So even though I think I look great in that, I sometimes want to see like how the outside world will perceive me. So I'll like flip my camera around to like the proper one, put it on video, and then like walk around my room a bit to see if the outfit looks good in real life. But yeah, sometimes I don't know, sometimes I just want the outfit to look peak. But yeah, maybe I'm a bit of an overthinker in that sense.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Well, the real thing is I haven't gotten into real fashion really until like recently. So I don't think I've ever been that like thinking that much about my outfit.
I've been loving your fashion recently, by the way. When you got earrings, that was a game changer. Oh my gosh, the cutest earrings
literally
ever.
Inspired me to do that.
Yeah, but yours are cute. Like I'm never, as soon as I've worn my earrings like once, I'm like, boring. And then like everyone else's earrings, I'm like, whoa, I need them. And you had like really cute frog ones. I was really excited.
My friend Eli, they made them, and I just bought it from their shop.
Cool. And I also, your makeup looks recently, they've been.
Thank you.
Nice eyeshadow.
I've been I've watched so many YouTubers who like do makeup for so long. I was like, okay, I guess we'll start now.
I'd love to do more colourful makeup. It looks so nice. But yeah, I don't really have that level of skill yet. Yes. Maybe one day.
I think I just picked it up from watching so many for like at least like a year now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe I can do it now. But it's actually not that hard. I feel like.
Well, you make it look easy, but I bet if I did it, there'd be like a big blob on my face.
No, it's not that hard. I feel like it's just like you have to know like the different parts of the like like the eyelid and then like the brow bone area and then outside of there, and then I just watched a whole bunch of people applying makeup, and I was like, oh, so you just put like the darker colors on the outside, the more shiny colors near like on the lid and near the whatever this is, the like, you know what I'm talking about. And
I'm talking about, but I don't know the technical names.
And then bam, it's done. So that, and then I think the only other thing you have to know is like color theory and like how like mixing different colors or like what colors kind of look good together.
This is already sounding too complicated.
But that's not even that hard because usually the palette will come with the colors that go good together already.
Yeah, I would still find a way to make the colours not good together. You're good at art stuff. Like your stickers, like wow, how do you make them look so good? Like I've
Oh,
seen you're very good at stuff. Everything. You're good at everything, let's be
no,
honest.
I feel like I'm mediocre at a lot of things. I'm like in the
I
middle at a lot
relate
of
to
things. I like the sticker thing. I like when was it? 2 years ago now? No, it was my junior year, so I think it was like 2 years ago now. I took a visual design class because the my major is UI UX design. So I just took this class in order to like learn how to do better like digital art
hmm
basically. And the first what is it called? The first lesson we did, or the first like unit we did, was on we made like stickers, icon stickers, to learn about like consistency.
uh
So I made like there's a show called Legacies I was watching at the time. So I made
mhm.
like stickers based off of the show for there. And I think that's where I learned a lot of it. I feel like also
uh
I took like a free like online art class. But like what I learned from it is that a lot of art drawing is not actually that hard. It's just a lot of different shapes combined together
uh
and then like shading to make it look realistic. So like um what I learned from the classmates basically was like, or at least I didn't take the full class. I only did like a couple of lessons, but
mhm.
what I learned was like look to kind of look at things differently and look at them more in like the shapes that make them up, so that it can be easier to kind of reference that and go back to it later on. So like everything is like a circle, a triangle, or like a square basically. So like this is like, or like a line. So this is like three lines and then like a circle-ish square, and that's as glasses.
Okay, yeah, but let's be honest, I can't draw. I mean, yeah, I feel like glasses are really hard to draw though. Not that I've tried. Yeah, I feel like that was what always set me at a disadvantage when I was doing self-portraits in school,
Mm-hmm.
because like the face would be fine and then you try and do the glasses and it's like, oh dear, I ruined the whole thing.
Yes, it's very hard honestly to do art in a pleasing way, because like it takes a lot of different skills. It takes breaking down things into shapes, then recreating those shapes correctly, and then getting like the shadow and the highlights correctly, and like doing
Mm-hmm.
that with the correct colors. And it's like so that's why all of my stickers are very simple and minimalistic, because
I love the
I
stickers.
can't do anything
They're
complicated.
also cute. Like they don't seem simple to me. They seem like wow, art skills. I love them. I wish I could do stuff like that, but I mean, I've never been horrible at art, but I've also never been good at art. It's
I
like,
honestly don't even think I'm that good at art. I'm like okay at it. Like there are
yeah,
people
you
so
are.
much better at me.
Well, obviously, there's the Mona Lisa, like that's quite nice, but I've just talked a load of nonsense now. It's really showing my lack of art knowledge, isn't it?
I have no art knowledge either.
There is Jordan, and then there's the Mona Lisa, and then
There's
nothing.
everything in between.
They're both at the same standard. Then nothing else exists. But what you said about being mediocre at a lot of things, I feel that. I feel like when I was younger, I was trying to be good at everything. Like I was trying to be involved with everything, like joining all the clubs at school and having all the hobbies in the world. And now I've kind of like stuck with that, just doing like loads of things, but none of them are like amazing. Like
Yeah.
I will get like a new hobby, and then I will get like, for example, crochet. I started doing crochet like at the beginning of like lockdown, and I got all right at it, and then like a month later I just completely gave it up and moved on to something else to be all right at, and then moved on again.
There's this
But
Maria said I love the style of your
different.
stickers. Thank you.
See.
But I was gonna say there's a YouTube video I watched like years ago, I think. Like 2 or 3 years ago, by this YouTuber called Xana. Uh and
Oh, I know. Yeah.
yeah. and she made this video about she made a video about motivation, but I don't think this one was about motivation. I think it was just like about just doing art in general, and like how there's like a new learning phase, and it goes like this, and then you reach a point where you're not really learning anything and you just got to keep going. And then if you can get past that phase, that's like this, like a plateau, then you can get to this area. But if you can't get past that area, you're just going to continue to be like okay at it.
I can't get to that area.
Yeah.
I'm just at this area. Maybe I need to try harder to get past that area.
It's hard.
But sometimes I just get to a certain point and I'm like, you know what? I'm all right. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to a new hobby.
Yeah, I totally relate to that.
I feel like it's weird when I actually have something that isn't a phase. Like, for example, when I got a ukulele for Christmas, I thought that was going to be a phase. So the fact that I still actually have a ukulele and I still actually play it, I'm like, whoa, I actually stuck with something for once. But so many things I've been through that have just been a phase. Like, literally the only reason where I ended up getting into crochet was because I gave up with knitting. Like, I was like, no, I'm all right at it, but it's a little bit hard, so let's move on. And it's just like, I've been through everything. I had a weird phase with nail art at one point. I could draw like
nail art. I went through a nail art phase too, but like I didn't get any good at it.
No, neither did I. It makes me cringe thinking about like what I probably went into school with on my nails. Like, my nails probably used to look so embarrassing, and I used to think, I was like, ooh. Like, did you ever watch Simply Nailogical on YouTube?
That's where it started.
He was the best, and I felt like I was her, but I never was.
I'm glad
find out. I was like,
I'm glad we went through the same specific phases because of the same specific people.
There were like other YouTube channels as well, but I can't even remember their names at this point. I just remember like watching them, and like they would put on their nail varnish and it would go on in like a really smooth, opaque way, and then I would get it, and then it was not the same. Be, like, all over my skin, and then like I'd bump into a table and then it would chip off and everything. And then like I would decide that I needed to eat during it, and then I would go downstairs and smudge it. It didn't work. The videos were all lies. And another thing that used to frustrate me was they would do like so many different coats with different layers, and it was fine, and they'd have like little pictures on the nails. But then I would do one coat and I'd go in for coat number 2 and it was still wet, and then I would go to bed and like my nails were like really gloopy, and
ugh.
Who even let me try nail art? I don't know. I can't even remember my old phases. Like, there have been so many. Like, there was one where I decided I wanted to be an author.
Oh, like I went through that phase too.
I was about 10 and I used to write books, and then I would self-publish them on Amazon. And at the time I thought I was like so cool for doing that. And then I kind of just forgot about it until I went to my second like high school. Like, I changed school, and everyone, the first thing they thought to do was to Google me, and these books from when I was 10 came up, and they were like clicking like read the first page for free, and they were like reading out this book that I'd written when I was 10, and I was like, no. So like, moral of the story, if you're 10 and you write a book, make sure someone reads it and tells you if you're going to be embarrassed in a couple of years' time.
Or like, if you're like me and you write a book when you're super young, don't publish it anywhere and just keep it in your Google Drive.
Should have done that, but
I
clearly wanted fame.
My problem was I would like write something and then never finish it. That was my main problem.
Well, I did finish things, just not to a very good level. I would be like, right, I want this on Amazon, so I'm just going to write whatever for about 100 pages, and then that will be enough. I used to think that I was so cool for writing 100 pages. I don't know why that seemed like such a big achievement to me. Like, big deal.
It is a big achievement for a 10-year-old.
I know. But it's just like, it's crazy the things that mattered so much to me then. Oh my gosh. Do you know what another one of my weird phases was? I was probably about 14 for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw someone on Instagram doing like one of those aesthetic calligraphy videos.
I
Oh,
also
I
went
can
through
do
a
this.
calligraphy phase.
See, we both think we're being like really unique. And yeah, everyone went through the same phases.
Yeah,
I didn't have the
I went to
pens.
Barnes and Noble and I got one of those like calligraphy sets and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do calligraphy.
Oh my gosh, you had fancy stuff. No, I would just like use my own like felt tip pens, and then like I would do like I'd press really lightly for the thin bits,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I had to do like a fat bit of the letter, I'd get like really aggressive with my grip. So it wasn't even like a proper calligraphy pen. Maria said that they're 24 and writing anything is an achievement for them. Well, fair enough. I feel like I don't have the motivation I had when I was 10 for writing anymore. It's just no way could I do 100 pages now.
Yeah, no, same. I think
I
that's
have like
why I think that's why I like songwriting because it's so like small
yeah,
and short, and then you're
it's
done with
like
it.
you do like a couple of pages and then you sing it with a few chords in the background and everyone's like, well
Yeah.
done. I do feel like some of my songs, like some of them took a long time to write, but literally some of the ones that I bring out, like they barely took any time.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people will still be like, oh my goodness, the meaning in this verse is so good. And I'll be like, yeah, it took me 20 minutes, but thank you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like same thing. Sometimes I'll write something and it'll be like in like a 30-minute session and they'll be like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I'm like, "Thank you. Did not take me long to come up with that."
I like having that like little sense of achievement when I finish a song.
Mhm.
But like sometimes I don't even finish songs. Like it just some of them never get finished. Like
Sometimes I will write like everything that's needed, you know, like the verses, the choruses, but like nothing is like some parts are not good enough and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just come back to this eventually and then I never
yeah.
come back to it. So it's just like unfinished forever.
Uh I found a lot of the times that I've started the song off really well and I'm doing really well and then I think, right, it can't end just now. I need to add a bridge. And then the bridge is always like the ropiest thing ever.
The
And
bridge
it's
is
like
so
it
hard
really
to do.
hard. Yeah. Sometimes I can think of a really good bridge, but sometimes when I just want the song to be over, I just write a load of nonsense and it ruins the song and then I pretend I never wrote it.
One thing I learned, because I took like a songwriting class in like college
Mm-hmm.
for a quarter, and one thing I learned was that sometimes a song is just done and there's no
Yeah.
need for like that extra bridge because
Uh,
there's nothing more for you to say.
yeah.
I think that's been really useful for me. I feel like I want to write more songs that are out of like the basic songwriting structure, like
Mm-hmm.
that are more just like what's the word I'm looking for? I want to write more songs that just like are in a less traditional like sense. You know, like
Yeah.
how some folk songs are like just like exist and they're
Yeah.
just like there's no like structure to it. It's just like a
I like
I
that.
like those.
I wish I could do that, but genuinely I don't really think I'm at the stage where I would be able to do that without
Yeah.
it sounding like a complete mess.
It
But
takes skill
yeah,
to do it.
sometimes when I'm actually trying to follow a structure, the song just doesn't seem natural. It sounds like something I wrote in like high school with like the 4 chord trim first. I was like, whoa, you can play any song with chords. Like that was impressive at the time. But yeah.
Maria said, I have so many unfinished songs. And then they said, yeah, same Jordan. I'm struggling with that too. I'm assuming that means struggling to write outside of basic song structure. It's really hard to do because I feel like there is a certain skill to it. It's kind of like when people try to. Oh, hold on 1 second. Ooh. Oh, there's an error. Hopefully that didn't mess up the thingamajig.
I hope not.
Okay. The stream status right now is poor, but I also don't know what to do about that. Let's see if I can fix it.
I can still see myself on this screen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to look at the screen because it's making me think, oh gosh, it's me. But yeah.
Let's see. I want to go to settings. That's what I want to do. And then I want to do... Yeah, I have no idea how to work this thing correctly, so...
I have no clue either.
Okay. Maria said that they can still see us, so I'm just gonna take that as a sign of everything's fine.
That's fine.
Oh, it's back to normal. Okay, great.
That's good.
Okay. So what I was saying was that it's hard to write in like a non-traditional song structure. It's kind of like when people think they could just write in free verse for poetry, and that's fine because free verse has no rules. And yeah, it has no rules, but you still have to do a lot to make it like I feel like you have to learn the rules of poetry really well in order to break those rules for a reason, you know?
You need to tell that to 15-year-old me. Who thought like she was like some free verse expert, like, ooh, abstract. Like, I went through a poetry phase, if you couldn't tell. Not a very good poetry phase, though. I didn't even reach the mediocre level with that. I just always reached the... Yeah. I thought, you know, if I can write a song, I can write a poem, but I was wrong.
I did poetry in high school. I did like you know, because you know there's a poetry unit, so I did that. But then also I did the school that I went to was how do I say this? It was like very Korean culture influenced school for no good reason other than the founder of the school had a Korean wife, went to Korea and taught in Korea, and wants to bring a lot of the values back to New York for some reason. So
that's interesting.
So we had like a lot of Korean extracurricular activities, and one time we did like a Sijo, which is Korean poetry. It's like a certain type of structure. So I did that for a while as well, and then
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I want to hear more. What other Korean clubs were there?
There's Korean traditional dance. I did that.
Nice.
There's K-pop dancing.
Nice.
I did not do
we
that.
had a K-pop club, but I was gonna turn up once, and I looked through the window, and it looked a bit too intimidating, so I ran away before they noticed me.
Because the dance teacher there had so many connections, the K-pop group got to perform at KCON.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, your K-pop group sounds better than whatever one my school had going on.
I don't even know if they were that good. The teacher just was well connected. I was able to get them the slot.
Have some well connected teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could be well connected.
Oh, same. I also wish I was well connected.
Like Taylor Swift hit me up.
Oh, and then they also did they also had taekwondo, and I almost did that, but during like freshman years you could only a certain amount of people were allowed in each group, so you just signed up and then you did like ranked choice, and I did that was like my number one choice, but I didn't get it, and then I just didn't do it.
That's really sad.
It's okay. I did Korean traditional dance, and that was fun. I did that for like 4 years.
I was in boring clubs compared to yours. Like at my last school, I was in a Pilates club. So we went in during lunchtime, but we didn't even have time to get changed into proper clothes. So we were there like in our school clothes trying to do the splits and stuff. And then I went to a law club, and you just sat there and had to like debate topics. But they were never interesting ones. They were like always really random topics that I didn't really have like a proper opinion on. So I stopped turning up to that, and then I've been to other random clubs throughout the years. None of them have been good. There was this one gymnastics club, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I thought in my head, if it's a club held at school, it's going to be simple. We're just going to be doing like forward rolls and stuff. And then I turned up, we did our warm up, and she's like, okay, then let's learn how to do backflips. And then I never showed up after that because I'm not quite that level. Like, I'll do a couple of cartwheels in the garden, but
I can't
nothing
even
else.
do a cartwheel.
Maria's asking about Pilates. Well, Maria, Pilates is like difficult yoga. I've always done quite a bit of yoga, like on yoga apps, but I find that Pilates, it's kind of nice in some ways, but some things they hurt. Like they like you can actually feel it working your muscles way more than yoga, I feel. Did I tell you about how I once went to a Zoom Pilates class and it was like a bunch of work colleagues from a company I didn't work
I
at?
think I saw that when it was happening. That was like this summer, right?
Yeah. So it was with a bunch of strangers. I was expecting that to be a really easy Pilates class, but it was like the most difficult thing I'd done in my life. And like I, up until quite recently, I used to dance a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I thought like I could handle this Pilates class with a bunch of people from a random office in like I don't even know where it was. I think it was held in LA,
Mm-hmm.
but they were all I guess in LA they must be good at Pilates because it was so hard. We had to do like a handstand and hold the handstand, and
Oh
of
my
course I
gosh.
in my bedroom, but they all could. It was a hard time. So I would say maybe try Pilates, but don't try Pilates with a bunch of strangers from LA. That's my that's my tip for the day.
I can't even do yoga. I'm like so unflexible. Like yoga hurts for me.
hmm I mean, you could do like a beginner level. I'm sure
Probably.
you could find some yoga that would work for you,
I'm
but then
also
again,
horrible. I'm also horrible at just doing exercise in general. I
me too.
don't like doing it at all. But I think probably maybe when we get out of quarantine, I think I'm gonna try. But
I don't
I
think
hate exercise.
I don't like I feel like I always feel better when I've done exercise, but I can never get myself to do it. Like I've been through lots of phases where I would go running all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm being honest, I don't enjoy the run one little bit. Like the whole time when I'm running, I'm just being like, when is this gonna end? Like I feel good when it's done, but the rest of the time I feel like no.
I don't even feel good after exercise. I just feel winded.
I just feel like everybody look at me and then I like screenshot my statistics, put it on Instagram, like look everybody.
Anne said hi. Hi, Anne.
Oh, I haven't seen you for a while. And Maria said, I'm flexible, but I have to concentrate so hard on my balance and I still have repetitive strain injury on my wrist. That's not good. So I have to be careful not to overwork them. Yeah, that sounds difficult. I've seen you're quite flexible actually. I've seen your pictures. I'm like mediocre flexible. I've got weirdly flexible fingers and one of my arms is flexible.
Mm.
But the rest of my body is also quite flexible for stupid reasons. It's because like every time someone brings out the camera, I just want to like pose in weird ways. So like over the years, when you pull up your leg for every photo, you learn how to become flexible. It's really strange because when I used to do dance classes, like I don't know, at least 3 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do anything. I was like so inflexible. And then I stopped dance and I started taking weird timer photos
Mm-hmm.
just for my private Instagram, and then
Mm-hmm.
became like flexible. So it's weird motivation, but if anyone wants to become flexible, then you should start posing with your leg up in every single photo. I used to make my friends do it. I remember it was my 16th birthday and we were at this Indian restaurant. So it wasn't the appropriate place to put your leg up. It was just like you meant to eat your meal. But I convinced like all of my friends to hold their leg up for a photo. And because it was my birthday, they had to say yes.
Eric said, I'm not very flexible and have terrible balance, so I found yin yoga works pretty well for me.
Maybe you
I
should try that then.
I also have terrible balance. I was like born with it because I have cerebral palsy, so I was
Oh, really?
born with terrible balance. And
Uh,
yeah, like for a long time, I didn't know how to ride a bike because my mom was afraid that I would hurt myself.
mm,
Um, but I don't know. I feel like I do need to, I don't know, get better at my flexibility. I just have a really bad experience of taking one yoga class and everything going bad,
yeah.
and I was like, I
One
don't
class
like
can put
that.
you off anything.
Yeah, and I also did dance classes growing up.
Mm.
I remember this one instance when um, we were doing just like rolls, and I had accidentally did a handstand, a headstand.
Oh no.
Because we were doing the rolls, and then I just got stuck up there, and then eventually I came down.
I can picture Mini Jordan doing a headset.
It
Oh,
was
that's
so funny. Uh, oh,
but
Amy
that put
says hi. No, Amy says
hello.
yeehaw.
Oh, you lied. You said that they said hi. Amy actually said yeehaw, so we will say yeehaw back.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Uh,
I do my double wave? I can't remember. I
I
feel
think
like
you did
everyone
it.
needs to give a double wave too.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I feel mean if I accidentally miss someone out.
they're not a part of the
Has
little
anyone got
crew.
questions?
Oh
I feel like
yeah.
we haven't had a question in a while. Come on.
Ask us questions. Ask us questions. Ask us questions.
This is me like attracting the questions.
It could be literally about anything.
Yeah. Can be like, what's your favorite colour?
I don't
What
have
is
one.
No, I don't really.
I
I used to
anything
pretend I did, just so I could tell people I had my favourite colour was
same.
green. But
I would always preface it like I don't really have a favorite color, but the color I feel like really good about today is this color.
mm,
Maria asks a question. Maria
okay.
asks, "How do you find the motivation to practice playing instruments?" Okay, here's how I do that.
Okay.
I just do it. that's my that's my that's my only like, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm actually being very serious. For like the ukulele, I got it as a Christmas present, and then I just said to myself, okay, we're just gonna practice a little bit every single day for like at least a year, and then we'll see what we get. So then every single day I would sit down and just either like try to learn a new chord or just learn like a song by Dodie on the ukulele. And then eventually I got pretty good at it because I just did it every single day. But I think that's one thing about myself is that if I tell myself I'm going to do something for a certain period of time, like for example, like 2 years ago, I think I did like I would try to write a song every month and post it on YouTube, and I did that for like 2 years straight. And I was like,
Wow.
I'm just gonna do it. I,
That's
I
impressive.
yeah, I think I'm pretty good at telling myself I'm gonna do something and then doing it because I kind of don't want to let myself down. But another suggestion, that I have is from the same YouTuber Xana. She like has really good, interesting thoughts on like different topics, and she has this one video about motivation and how sometimes how like motivation is kind of like a cop out, and how sometimes you don't feel motivated to do something, but you realize that there's like consequences of you not doing it, so you just might as well do it anyways.
I
So,
wish that was me.
like,
Sometimes no motivation, not gonna do it.
yeah, so sometimes you just have to tell yourself, okay, I don't feel motivated to do this thing right now, but I'm still gonna just do it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna use motivation as a thing that I need in order to get something done. It's just like a
I feel
feeling I
like
have.
you have to like think about your future self. It's like every time I essay I don't write, like in the moment I'm like, right, if I don't write this essay, I could just go straight to bed. But me tomorrow is not gonna like that when I turn up in class without this essay. So even if you don't feel like playing the instrument in the moment, you've got to think about your future self and
Mm-hmm.
be like, yeah, I want to be Taylor Swift, but like British. Yeah.
I think also another thing you kind of have you can do is like once you like if you tell yourself you're gonna do something like every Wednesday or just like every certain part of the week or at this time of the day,
Yeah.
it kind of becomes a routine, and it kind of just becomes something that you do
Yeah.
as a part of
So
your day.
you definitely have to get like a habit going. Like I feel like I know this is nothing to do with music, but I used to be really, really bad at like sticking to a skincare routine.
Mm-hmm.
I like some people are really shocked sometimes. They were like, "What's your skincare routine?" And I'd be like, "Nothing." But I used to like find it so much effort to go to the sink and like do like a whole like routine of stuff. But then like if you stick doing it every morning, every evening, every day, it eventually just becomes part of your life. And I feel like maybe that can be applied to other stuff too, not just like moisturizer. It can be applied to everything. Like you need to get it to be a habit, just like as much as waking up or like brushing your teeth would be.
Mm-hmm.
But I am being a bit hypocritical when sometimes I will go months without picking up an instrument, and then I'll pick it up for the first time and it'll be like completely untuned, and I'll be like, oh my gosh. And yeah, I do.
I also
Sorry.
feel like I'm pretty good at just like practicing in general because I took music lessons growing up. And like I would always have the fear of me going to class, me going to my lesson for the week and having not practice, and then the
Yeah.
teacher being like, "Oh, well, you didn't practice, and now you have to practice now during lessons." So I think that I've also kind of had that ingrained in me because I did take music lessons growing up.
Yeah, there's a reason why I only took 2 piano lessons. It was because I couldn't even like practice 3 blind mice or whatever.
Maria asked, "Yeah, what I told myself the other day was that this task will take the same amount of effort whether I do it now or later. So I actually did the washing up straight away and then did a bunch of cleaning." Yeah, exactly.
I should feel the same way about stuff. I wish I had that sort of attitude. Sometimes I don't.
It also
Sometimes I'm
it just takes
so
a lot of
unmotivated.
discipline, honestly.
Yeah, I wish I could be more like that, Maria.
I think I was with that in school, like for assignments. I would always do like the hard parts first, even if I didn't want to do it, because I was like,
Oh wait.
okay, if I like get this done now, then I could
Mm-hmm.
just do the easy parts later and be like, good job, pass self. Now I don't have to deal with this. Now I can just
No,
slide
you
by for the rest
see,
of the week.
I do the opposite. I'll do the easy parts. I'll see the hard parts as too much effort, and the hard parts will be done at like half an hour before the deadline. I'll be like, oh dear, it's like 11:30 p.m. Let's do it. So that's why I feel like I always get much better marks on my schoolwork when I do it during the daytime and I'm actually like putting in the effort instead of at 11:30 at night. But
Yeah.
it's not the best ethic.
Ludwig said hi. Hi, Ludwig.
Hi.
And then Maria says, the problem is I'm always procrastinating my uni work, so that's the entirely different hurdle. See, I'm lucky in that I'm no longer in school. I'm probably gonna go back though. So
I've always been so good at procrastinating, especially with painting my nails. It seems as soon as I have loads and loads of schoolwork, it's like, ooh, let's find a pretty colour nail polish and paint my nails and spend like a long time adding glitter to the top. I feel like I'll do anything other than my schoolwork sometimes.
yeah, schoolwork's hard. It's very
It's
hard.
just effort. And sometimes it's not even as hard as you think it is, but then you build it up to be like something massive in your head.
Yeah.
And then when you get it out and actually try, it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just try more sometimes, but it's hard. It's easier said than done, really.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets unmotivated sometimes. It's part of life. Some people are better at handling it than others. I'm one of those people who needs to work on it.
Yeah, I like realized this with like certain math classes I've taken where it's like it's not like I'm bad at math. I'm pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes me more effort to get certain things done. So
Yeah.
that I just don't feel like I want to put in the effort 100% of the time. Like I took a statistics class and this was my second time taking it and I needed to pass it. So I like just showed up in office hours like every single day that there was office hours available, and like I got a B, but like I had to put in like so much work in order
Yeah.
to just get that B. While with for some people, I feel like it comes way more naturally.
Yeah, I think it's because when I was younger, I was so used to getting everything right straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything would come so easily to the point where when I first had to start like studying for my exams, it would be like, oh my goodness, I don't know it already. I don't have the motivation to do this if I don't already know the answers.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I guess that has been a hard thing because I guess some people used to have to work harder when they were younger, but because it came easily for me, I didn't really learn that sort of discipline
Yeah,
to stick
same,
with it. Yeah.
same. I had the same
Maria said,
experience.
please can you read out what Maria said because it's gone off my
Yeah,
screen.
they said, yep, same. Like, I'll clean the entire house instead of send an email, or just read the text I need to translate. But it's a journey, and I think I'm getting better at it. And then they also said stats sounds painful. And yes, stats were painful. I had to take it twice, and it was the worst. I was like in office hours every day. Like, the teacher would go through the answers, and then I would like be like writing it down. It was a pain in the butt.
That does sound like a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have that sort of discipline to complete. What even is stats? Like, what type of maths is that? Because we just have it as like a combined subject and it's just math.
It was just probability and stats, so it's like 2 out of 10 or stuff like that. Like there's
Yeah.
like if you roll a dice, what's
Yeah.
the chance of you getting one number versus the other? But then there was also other stuff because probability is just like the likelihood of you getting a certain outcome. Stats is making a model of those different probabilities, and then based on that model coming up with like I don't know, like standard deviations for stuff or how likely
Oh,
they
I don't like
it was
about flashbacks of standard deviation. No.
so it was like a lot of modeling and stuff, and it's just very confusing when you get into it.
Yeah. No, that reminded me of maths then. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's been one of those subjects where I have been able to get like good grades in like tests, but that's just because I've had to put in extra effort. Like it's never been one of those things that has just come naturally
Yeah,
to me.
same.
I had more like a brain that was good at like writing stuff instead of like working out math stuff. But yeah.
The worst
And then
thing. Oh, go ahead.
no, it wasn't interesting.
I was gonna say the worst thing that happened to me was that I was in my senior year they had us like pick because for the most part we couldn't pick our classes. It was just like this is the class that you're taking so that you get this certain type of degree that we want you to get. So in our senior year, we were able to pick our classes for the first time. And I was like, I do not want to do AP calculus, okay? I want to do normal math, okay? And then I don't want to do AP bio. If there's a different AP science, like AP physics, I'll do that, but not AP bio. And then I also want to do film as my elective. Then my guidance counselor was like, no, you can't do that. And then they put me in Korean language and culture for my elective because he was like, it needs to look like you did 4 years of Korean on your transcript.
Wow.
And then they put me in AP bio because that was the only AP class they were taking. And I was like, I didn't want to take AP bio if that was the only one. And then they put me in AP calculus, and I was like, no, I wanted to go to pre-calculus. I was like, why are you doing
Did
this
you
to
end up
me?
doing AP calculus? Did you have to do it in the end?
Yeah. And the worst part was that the reason I didn't want to take it was because there was like two groups of students at my school. There were like the people who had already taken algebra in middle school, so they were already like a leg up. So they were in an accelerated class, and then I took algebra in middle school, but I didn't get high enough grades, so I had to retake it in the 9th grade. So I was on the normal track. So like the majority of the people who were in AP calculus were on the accelerated track and already took pre-calculus. So I was one of like 3 people who had not taken pre-calculus before this.
That sounds
class.
intimidating.
Luckily, I had like a really good like math teacher. Like he he in previous schools he's been to, he's got people gotten like 4s and 5s, which are like very high grades on the AP test. So he was like, all right,
Yeah.
it's okay, I will help you out through this. And I just had to do like a lot of like prep work before the class started, like while everyone else was on something else. I was like, we were like in the beginner stages of learning calculus. It was really weird, and I don't know why they did that to me.
That sounds so mean. Making you do like the one thing you didn't want to do.
Yeah. Luckily,
But
like it
did it work out okay
yeah,
in the end?
luckily it worked out. I got like a really good score, and then I didn't have to take that class in college. I got it like canceled out because
That's good.
also the school I went to they didn't accept all of my AP credits. They only accepted my math one. The rest didn't count
really?
for anything. Yeah.
Oh. I don't. How does this AP stuff work then? Because I've always heard it on TV shows, but like, how does everyone do it, or just certain people? Or
it's like I guess accelerated stuff. So like, there's like different categories. There's like AP Art, there's AP US History, there's AP Calculus, and then so like there's different categories for that.
Yeah.
And the grades are from a 1 to a 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best.
Okay.
So you take this class, you take the test, and if you get, and then you really want to get like a 4 or a 5, because the advanced placement credit can go towards credit for your college degree, so that you don't have to retake those things because you already know enough about them. So like each college would be like, these are the AP credits that I'm accepting. And the college that I went to, they only accepted like 2 or 3 classes, but and I took like AP literature, AP language and arts, which is like English, but like the writing part, not like the literature reading part. I took AP US History, I took AP Calculus, and AP Bio. I think those are all the AP classes I took, and only one of them got counted towards credit from my university.
That sounds frustrating. Yeah. But I guess it worked out because now you're a cool person who's good at making stickers. I'm not going to move on from the stickers. They're really cute.
Thank you.
Keep on doing the stickers.
I have like an idea, but it's taking forever to do because I can't do it correctly. I'm trying to make roses and they're not looking correct.
Well, that sounds cute.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that in the future. Maybe your next idea should be my face.
Yes, maybe I will do your face.
I don't think I'd be able to do my face, to be honest.
But
you're good at art, so
it's gonna be very minimalistic because I'm bad at drawing faces, which is why I literally just draw a circle and then eyebrows.
Faces
and that's
are
it.
hard.
They're so hard.
They're so hard to do. And yet that's always the thing that you're encouraged to draw in like art classes in school. They always like make you do hard things.
I'll show you my best version of a face, and that's the only one that I'm proud of. It's on Instagram. Okay. And it took me like a good amount of time to do this. Like it took me forever. Let me find.
I could spend so much time on a face and it still wouldn't look like a face. So.
Yes. Where is she? No, where is it? That's not it. Aha, I found it. Can you see that? I don't know if that's clear.
Wait,
it's not.
Focus.
It doesn't focus. Let me try to turn off.
I can just see a bright light.
Yeah, hold on.
But I'm sure it looks good.
Can you see it now? No.
It's still a bright light.
Okay. Well, it's there on my Instagram.
I believe you that it's good.
I think it's pretty good. I'll send you a picture maybe. I'm going to send you a screenshot.
Nice. I'll look forward to the screenshot. What do you think you specialise in drawing? What do you think's your best thing you can draw?
Nothing. I feel like it takes me hours to do anything that I'm proud of. Like I think the best thing I drew was like Taylor Swift's cat. And
that sounds nice.
But it took me like literal like hours. Like no, it took me an entire day to do it.
Well, at least you've got that sort of commitment. I feel like I would give up 10 minutes in, be like, that doesn't look like a cat. Never mind.
I think it's a good thing to do. I feel like the only way to do like art is like if you have something on in the background to kind of like numb your brain because it's you spend so long on it.
Yeah. Nice.
Like when I
Like
made the
music or the
yeah exactly. Like when I made the Tessa Violet and Dodie stickers, I was watching the live
Oh
stream that
yeah.
they did together.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
really cute actually. That's a nice idea. It's like getting your inspiration whilst you work.
Yeah, exactly.
Really nice. I need to work on some commitment to stuff. Maybe if I actually tried, I could draw better faces, but don't think I'm going to try.
I believe in you, Belle. You can do it.
Thank you. Do you know what was like the worst moment in my art class? I was about 13 and I was in one school and I just moved to a new school because it was like closer to home. And I'd already done the self-portrait topic in the school before. So like I already knew the skills. So we had like this competition in my new school where we had to draw a face and I drew one and everyone voted that mine was the best. And then when they found out that I did it in my old school, they didn't let me be the winner anymore.
Oh no.
I know, because I was a cheat. But I don't feel like I learned anything from the school before. Like sometimes you can either draw or you can't draw. It's not like at the age of 13 I became amazing at drawing faces, because I didn't.
I feel like
but I almost won the competition.
I feel like with drawing, it definitely is like a learned skill. It's not something that comes naturally.
Well, for me, it was something that comes very unnaturally. I don't know. Like I said, I've never been awful, but I've never been good. And the same goes for handwriting. My handwriting has gone really downhill recently. It's just like I'm not very good with a pen.
I think for me, I stole a lot of my handwriting from from other kids when I was younger. I liked how you do your A. I'm just gonna take that from you, and then eventually I had my
Nice
own
idea.
handwriting.
We had this one school where we were like forced to all write in the same pen, and like we had to write in this specific way. And if our letters didn't match the letters on the board, then like we would get told off for it.
What?
So like that school was like so strict. And then when I moved school, like it sounds like I've been to 6 schools, so I've been like all around the place. So then I moved from that strict writing school to another school, and everyone was like so obsessed with my handwriting. But I guess like over the years, like as you get older, you stop caring what your handwriting looks like.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'll scribble it down. Every bit of writing becomes a bit more effort, and now it's just a big mess.
Especially because you can just type everything out now.
I know. Like when I've been getting so like used to the idea of online school, so I'll do all of my essays on my iPad, and then like the next week I'll go into real life school and I'll be writing something, and then I go and press the delete button, and then I realize there's not a delete button on my school book. So yeah, this year has been a long year and it's not even December yet.
Yeah, it's been so long.
It's been like 10 years. And who imagine if us a year ago had seen what we're like now? Like we walk around wearing masks. Imagine like trying to explain that to your past self. I wouldn't believe it.
Especially because last year was such a bad year for me. Like I was already isolated last year because of my social anxiety, and like and then I so that was like the last school year. And then at the start of the new school year, near like the end of the year, I was like, okay, we're starting over. We're gonna do so much better this year. And like I was doing so much better. And then pandemic hits.
Yeah, that must have been difficult. I feel like we need a good 2021 because 2019 wasn't very good. Didn't think it could get any worse, but apparently
I really thought 2020 was gonna be better,
yeah,
and then it wasn't.
But surely next year it can't get worse.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to speak too soon.
I also
because
don't. I also feel like I don't want to hinge everything on 2020 being the worst because it's 2020 versus like just a lot of bad stuff is just happening and it's probably not going to stop in 2021.
yeah,
You know?
I know. Like I feel like this year has brought attention to a lot of things that were already going wrong in our world that we need to rethink before we can just be like, oh, it's 2021, everything's good again.
Yeah.
But I do think even though this year has been horrific, there are like things that maybe there are good things that have had, well, not good things, but things that have been brought to attention and like new ways of living that have actually been beneficial,
Yeah.
even though everything kind of sucks a bit, having to stay at home. And I don't know, I feel like there have been a few positives, but there's still so much work that needs to be done before we can just move on. Like, we can't just blame it all on 2020 when it was just our society being bad in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 2020 led us to like think a lot because we were sitting down and like just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which I think was good, but also kind of sucks because like I don't know, I want to see friends and I haven't seen friends in so long, and I want
Yeah.
to be able
I
to
feel
go
like now
outside normally, you know?
when you go and see friends now, it's like, how do you even socialize? It's like, hello. It's like, because we've been inside for so long, everything feels like kind of unnatural. It's like you're trying to learn how to live normally again. And then just as you think things are getting better, then you have to isolate again. And then it's just like someone
Yeah,
else
and
in my
even
school.
even for me, I didn't even go like even though numbers were down this entire
Yeah.
summer, like I didn't even go out to see friends because I was still like very scared and you know, I
Yeah.
still got COVID or whatever, but like I was like scared for my health because I have asthma, so like I just was
Yeah.
not going like outside to see like friends at all. Like I saw my friends once over the summer and that was it. That was the one time I saw
Mhm.
them. So, it's just really hard.
Yeah, it sounds really lonely. I've kind of been like forced into seeing people because of school, but I guess at first it was like kind of scary leaving the house when everywhere you look on the news, it's like, oh my gosh, everyone's dying, everything's so scary. So then when you're told that you have to go back to school, it's kind of like, is this safe?
Mhm.
But I guess even I know the cases are still going up, but going back to school has been really good because it's actually like it's people again and
Mhm.
everything. Even though it's not normal, it feels like it gives me like a sense of normality again because I'm not just like on Zoom calls every single day for hours and hours. Like, I'm actually speaking to real people.
Mhm.
It's like it's nice, but then you look around you and you realize that things are still bad and the pandemic is still going on and so many people are still dying. So it is still scary.
Mhm.
But and I don't know, I hope things can go best soon. I hope they can get this vaccine to be successful. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, you know, just having to be patient.
Yeah, because it feels like it's been going on for so long, and even next year it's going to keep on going, and it's weird. Like now the amount of things that have just become normal, like hand sanitizer all the time and like masks everywhere
Mhm.
and staying far apart from the people that you love the most. It's weird how these are just normal to us now, and I don't know, it's like hard to picture how life used to be. It's so weird. I just wouldn't have expected this. I remember in January, someone at school told me about how there were lots of COVID cases in China, and I thought, I don't know, that's just something that's happening in China. And then all of a sudden, like schools start closing down around here, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I feel like none of us really took it that seriously at first, and then we realized it was just affecting the whole world, and it was kind of scary.
The weird part is like so like, you know, I had heard about COVID and the stuff happening in China in the
Mm,
beginning of the year. But,
yeah.
you know, it was like, oh, it would be fine. Everything's going to be fine. And then the way it happened at my college, it was like literally over the course of a weekend. It was like we were having our like end of the quarter what a special D, which is like a special dinner that my dorm puts on. So
Yeah.
we had that. We were having a good time, and then we all get emails from the school saying, "Oh, we're not going into classes anymore. We're just doing things
Yeah.
online." And then you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's who knows for how long that is." And then the next day, they're like, "Oh, actually no. Um we're like no one's going back to classes like at all, and
Yeah.
we're not coming back for the rest of what's it called, for the rest of winter quarter." And you're like, okay, interesting. And then the next day it's like, okay, so only a certain group of people can now stay on campus. Everyone has to leave, and you can come back and get your stuff later, but everyone's just gonna have to leave. And then eventually it was just like, oh, actually, they at a certain point they couldn't even, like, because my school's in California. They had like restricted the amount of people allowed into like a room, like for like a cafeteria or whatever, to a point where they couldn't even keep a large amount of students on campus. So like a lot of people just had to like leave. Like I left
Yeah.
my stuff there, and it was like, okay, I just come back and get it eventually later
Yeah.
on, I guess.
That's like so sudden.
Yeah.
I feel that mustn't have been nice to have all of a sudden like go away.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
because it was like a week before we were supposed to leave for spring break anyways, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it was like, no, you're leaving for good now. And like
Mm.
it was so sad. I like remember like my like last days like kind of like being there with like friends, and like hugging one of my friends goodbye. I mean, like, hopefully I'll see
Oh,
you soon, and like it was like really sad.
so sad. Because that was your last year of college, right?
Yeah.
So, and then to have that just cut so short,
Yeah.
that's really sad. And I feel like it was just really unexpected. Like, it was something we saw in the news, but I didn't ever really think it would affect me in the way that I saw it happening. And it was all so quick. Like, there was one point where no one cared, and then all of a sudden, it's like everything changed in like a week. And now it's just normal.
Yeah. It's and I also watched like a documentary that was talking about the Trump administration's handling of it, and like
Yeah.
it's really sad to see like how many missteps they made, and like
Yeah.
how, especially here in the US, if there was like more competent leadership going on, it probably wouldn't have been that bad, as bad
Yeah.
as it is right now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the way COVID is handled says a lot about the government in that country. Like, I've seen certain countries where, like, I don't know, sometimes they've been a bit too lenient with rules, or I don't know, like, for example, when schools weren't open, but like pubs and restaurants were open all of a sudden. Like, I don't know, some rules have been confusing here, but I've heard, like, obviously other countries have had it much worse with their leadership not handling it properly.
Yeah, here in New York, they're about to like shut down schools again, but keep bars and gyms open until like a curfew, and it like literally makes no sense because the public system here is actually doing like really well with the COVID stuff. Like there's like a very low amount of cases in the public school system, but like for gyms and bars, like it's like not, so it doesn't make any sense, you know?
No, that doesn't. Some of these rules, like, no one agrees with, but yet they're still enforced, and it's weird. And it is kind of sad, like you said, that like lots of these cases could have been prevented if the people in charge had done things differently, which is a shame because they're literally in charge and they have this power.
Yeah.
And it seems like so many people are making so many mistakes, and they keep on making mistakes. I guess that's just the government always, really, isn't it?
Especially because I feel like we've dealt with like not maybe something not as strong as COVID before versus like in the way that it spreads, but like we've dealt with different things that have almost led to a pandemic beforehand, like the Ebola crisis that happened like
Yeah.
a few years ago, or like
Mhm.
even like the swine flu, where like sure it got bad, but like certain measures were put into place to try to like prevent things from getting like really 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 bad, and now it's just like what is going on? I don't get it.
Yeah. It's just crazy how much this has spread and how quickly it spread and how it's still spreading. And if things had been done differently, maybe we wouldn't be where we are now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel some countries have handled it really well. Like, think about how some countries, like New Zealand, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they're like pretty much back to normal because of how good their
Don't they
leadership
have
is.
like 0 cases right now?
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's
oh, I
like
wish I lived there so bad.
it's like when's the next flight? But yeah. It's the thing, I'm not even allowed out of the country to go there, so it would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice
There
to be
was
New
like
Zealand.
a second when I was like deliberately looking into universities that had like low COVID cases in that country. I was like, ooh, did I move to New Zealand? Just so I can like walk around like normal, except it wouldn't be normal because it's like the opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
So it would probably feel more unnatural being in New Zealand. But sorry, a really loud car just went past.
It's okay.
Yeah, according to Maria, New Zealand had 100 days of no cases.
That's wow.
I'm jealous of that, New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Me too.
They handled it in a very good way. I wish we could have learned from New Zealand,
Yep.
but we did not.
And now here we are.
I think we should plan a group trip with our a cappella band to New Zealand. That would be good. And just stay there for the rest of our lives until everything calms down.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It would be. I bet it's warmer there too than this current weather.
Oh yeah, because they're in the opposite schedule, right?
Yeah. I wish I had this friend who was saying that they would really enjoy like moving to different countries when it became winter. So like they would want to always have summer. So like I guess that would be me if I moved to New Zealand now and then came back to the UK in UK summertime and then you can always be warm. I thought that was a good plan.
Is
It
it
also
even?
sounded like
I wonder how. I know certain parts of Australia get snow, but not all parts. I think.
yeah, that's interesting. Do you get snow where you are?
Mm-hmm.
You get snow, right?
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, a good amount.
Yeah,
I remember
we just
still having to go to school during snow days. So
oh
yeah.
no, we get like the slightest bit of snow, and all the schools are like freaking out, like closed.
Oh,
But
that's the
we
opposite here. There's like a feet of snow, and they're like, "All right, everyone, let's go to school." They're
yeah,
like, "This is the norm. Keep going."
I hate that when there's snow and you're still expected to learn. Snow
I
should be fun.
I wonder how this like pandemic's gonna affect people getting out of school for like different like weather reasons.
Yeah,
Cause
I
now
mean,
they're like, oh, you can still have school just like online.
oh yeah, I hate that because in the past when the teacher wasn't in, we'd just have like an hour where we didn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But now the teacher isn't in and everything is online instead. So it's like, yay.
See, I just missed like missed it, but that by like a hair. Cause like
Mhm.
in my high school, they started like integrating more like technology. Like we had Chromebooks that were passed out that you can use, in the middle school. But like I think I experienced that like I guess in college because of the pandemic. Um, but other than that, I missed all of all that online. Like if something went bad, we got out of it for free.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I don't like how online is working now. So everything is online and they can check if you've done the homework and they can check if you've they can even check if you logged in. So like there's no
Yep.
sneaking away now.
Yeah. Maria said, I'm heading off now, but it's been fun listening to the stream and congrats on the new singles. I'll be streaming them like mad for yous.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
We've been
And thanks
streaming
for
for
streaming
like
us.
2.5 hours now.
Can't believe I've managed to talk for that long.
How long do you
Thanks.
want to continue the stream for?
As long as you want.
Okay,
I'm chill with whatever.
cool.
Like I don't care.
I think I'll probably end it at 6 because I am getting like a little bit tired. So like 30 more minutes.
Fine with me.
Cool.
Whenever you want. If you're tired now, I don't care if you if you disappear. I can host the rest of the stream.
I think the one thing about streaming, because I've done streaming before, is that you have to be on for like a long period of time. And I am just such an introverted person. I could only be on for like...
It is tiring.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun, but then afterwards you're like, bed.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to do all of the Zooms with people from Twitter during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes I would just like turn my microphone off and go and sit in the corner for a bit and be like, ooh. Because sometimes socializing is just difficult. It's tiring.
I've always found socializing tiring. I don't like. I mean, I am just an introvert. I do not gain any type of energy from socializing with people. I always feel tired afterwards.
Me too. I feel like even though now I'm older, I like know how to respond to social cues in a way where I can act confident. I feel like I'm still inside an introvert. So like if I go out to hang with friends, I'll be thinking, when is this gonna end? Like I'll be out with them and everyone else is having a fun time and I'm just like checking my watch.
Oh, like, I'm ready to go to bed now.
And they will be like so full of energy and I'll just want to be sat down.
Yeah, that was me at like college parties. I would be like, all right, I've been here for an hour. I'm ready to go now.
That would be me. The only good thing about parties is when they've got a good buffet. I like food. I'll come and get food and then I'll leave. Thanks very much.
I one time went to a party and it was at another dorm that was also vegetarian. So they had like these it's called seitan. It's like a meat substitute, and it was like seitan chicken nuggets with like and then barbecue sauce on the side. And I was like, this is so good. Why don't we have this in our dorm? Like, why are we not buying this?
Did you start buying them after you found out?
I don't think so. Because I think the problem was a lot of people, because the dorm was like, we cooked for ourselves, so a lot of people didn't know how to cook it.
Well, you should start buying them now, I feel.
Yeah, I've had seitan. You can also just make it by yourself. You just need vital wheat gluten, but it's so good. It's so good. I love it.
I've never even heard of that, so now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's like another meat substitute, like soy, or tofu.
I love deep fried tofu. That is like
so good.
Oh, this is the best thing ever. Yeah. I feel like when I wasn't vegetarian, I used to like think that all of these things were really bad. Like, that doesn't taste as good as meat. Mm-hmm. But now I've actually become vegetarian. I feel like I eat way better than what I ate when I was a meat eater because I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you have to go more out of your way to find substitutes, you end up eating better things because you have to like, I guess, be more creative in what you eat, and then you get to like find all different types of food, and it's like, yeah, I've actually enjoyed being a vegetarian.
I think one thing I've learned to love is eggplant.
That's actually quite good. Yeah, I haven't had that very often, but I once went to a restaurant, I had amazing pasta with it in.
Yeah, it's so good with pasta. I like making eggplant parmesan. So like replacing the chicken cutlet for like an eggplant. It's really good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You're gonna like come out with a cookbook next?
No, I can't even make up my own recipe. I just look everything up online.
Well, that's better than what I do. I find a recipe online. I get halfway through, then I'm a bit bored. So then I just guess the rest, and then it doesn't sound very good. My arms are like covered in little like marks from where I've burnt myself on the oven. I'm just like
Oh
such a
no.
bad cook. Like I like shove things in, put it in, and then oops, it's burnt. Oops. Like I'm just I'm really bad.
I'm not I'm like very diligent when it comes to cooking. Like I triple check the recipe when I'm cooking. I like I
Uh-huh.
don't want to mess it up. So
I'm not.
I'm just always like, okay, how much of this? How much of this? How much of this? And then I'm like very exact with my measurements and like like I put on like a
Uh,
timer for stuff. Like I can't do, especially cuz I'm so forgetful.
yeah.
Yeah, I just
I'm not, well, I am forgetful, but I still just shove everything in. I don't put in effort to cooking. There are like a couple of things that I can make well, but not very well, just mediocre.
mm,
um, yeah, there was this one thing where in school we had to choose some extracurricular activities, and
mhm.
I was 17 when I did this, so I was quite bad for my age, but I joined a cake decorating
Oh,
class,
fun.
and everyone else got out all of their exciting ingredients, and then everyone was looking at me, and then that's when they realized that I'd never made a cake before. And then every single lesson was like everyone was just watching me fail. Like the first, like, oh my gosh, like every time the cake would come out burnt, or I would come out burnt because I'd forget the oven was hot.
Oh
And then
no.
everyone was just sat watching my cakes fail whilst they made these really incredible cakes. And that was an embarrassing part of my life. But at least I can make a cake now. Not a very good one, but at least I can at least make something.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Don't be too proud. It's not very good. You can make cakes though. I've seen. You
Yeah.
made your YouTube cake, didn't you?
Yeah. I love baking and cooking. I find it so meditative. Like
Mhm.
I'll just like get a recipe, look at it, and then just start like combining stuff and like I don't know, there's something nice about putting like music on in the background or like I don't know, like a live stream about in the background and then just like cooking while that's
Yeah,
playing.
that sounds nice.
Yeah.
If I was good at cooking, maybe I would enjoy that
But
too.
I also feel like getting good at cooking is basically just like are you good at following directions?
The answer is no.
Cause like,
Uh,
cause my mom was always like, "Oh, you always make such good things," and I'm like, I'm just following the directions. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything special.
yeah, but I still feel like it's worth like it's worth congratulating you for cooking because when I follow the instructions, it doesn't come out good. It comes out burnt. It comes out undercooked in the middle. I've just never been very good at cooking. Maybe it's one of those things I need to practice, like at the same time as drawing faces.
Mm.
Get better at it before I'm like a full adult with like a full family and I can't even
But
make them
sometimes
food.
you don't have to be the cook in your family, you know.
Yeah, I know, but like what I don't know. I still feel like it's a skill I need to know. I'm gonna get caught out at some point in my life with my bad cooking skills.
I got what's it called? Before I got COVID, I went to the grocery store and I got like frosting tips. So now I can
Mm.
make proper like
Oh, that
decorations
sounds
for my
really nice.
cakes and cupcakes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that does sound fancy. That's like the next level. I think
Yes.
another issue with me is how I don't own the proper equipment.
Mm.
Like, whilst everyone else is using fancy stuff, I'm just like, instead of a whisk, I'll use like a knife or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Do whatever, like, shove it in. I feel like it's not always just about the ingredients,
Oh
it's also
yeah.
about
You're right.
how I'm doing it. So, I shouldn't be so shocked when my like cakes come out looking so bad
I
when
will.
I didn't put any effort in.
I will say a fork is better than a knife if you're looking for something to replace a whisk.
I did own a whisk at one point. I used it once. I've never seen it since. It's gotten lost. I don't know.
I got my mom to get one of those mini whisks from IKEA so that it's easier.
No,
I love those little whisks because it makes it easier to like mix sauces and stuff like that, like tiny little
that's
things.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was, I don't know if you saw it, but that TikTok trend where you had to like, they were like cooking noises and you like made dances to it. But
I never
everyone used to
saw it.
make fun of how, everyone made fun of how I was doing the whisk. They were like, that's not how you whisk things. And I was like, well, it's because I never use a whisk. It's
How are
because I
you
never
doing
cook.
it? How are you doing
I don't
it?
know. I was just like, I was like, and everyone kept saying, like, just making fun of my baking skills based on that TikTok.
Oh no. It's like you hold a whisk like that.
I still can't do it.
Oh my
There's a,
goodness.
I can't even do a fake whisk, never mind a real one. It's so much effort, like
Oh
stirring
yeah.
ingredients, like a whole arm workout.
Yeah, my one of my dreams is to get one of those one of those like whisks attached to the bowl thingies.
Yeah.
And my dorm they had one of those, so I would just use it all the time because I had it for
Oh,
free.
that sounds good.
Hmm.
Do they? The thing that's always worried me about these, even though there's no need for me to worry because I don't own one, like putting the ingredients in and then you press it, does it not go like with all the ingredients?
Well,
They not
that's
like
what
shoot.
you have to start slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have to like put it in there and start like very slow. And also, most of the times when you use one of those, you if you're adding in flour, you add it in a little bit at a time so it doesn't go everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Hmm.
Instead of just like shoving it all in. Yeah. You can tell that you actually know cooking stuff and I don't. But maybe one day I will. I will say I've gotten better at baking cookies.
Yay.
I At the start of lockdown, I tried to make some cookies from a cookie kit and I couldn't even manage that and the ingredients were pre-made. You literally just added water and they all burnt. But I feel like I've mastered them more with a bit of effort. So yeah, that's good.
Maybe,
I should put in more effort in the future.
maybe once the pandemic is over, I can fly over there and teach you some skills.
Yeah, I'm sure that's completely worth a flight all the way to the UK. Teach me how to make cookies and then leave.
I mean, I can also fly over there for other fun stuff. I mean, I've been to the UK once.
Why didn't you visit me?
Oh, because I was a freshman in high school and didn't know you.
Yeah, to be fair, we've only known each other since like March.
Yeah. I like I went and it was like a school like trip. You had to
Wait, where did
apply.
you go?
Why did I go?
No, where did you go?
Oh, it was just like London,
Fun.
basically. And we went for like a week, and it was fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but I want to go back. I have family in the UK, so I want to visit them.
Oh, yeah. And obviously you've got me.
Yes, exactly.
We could do lots of fun things in the UK.
What would we do?
Right. We would we would bake together.
Mm-hmm.
We would write a song together
Oh,
and
that's fun.
but yeah, you wouldn't tell anyone that you were coming to the UK. You'd keep it secret. And
Exactly.
then all of a sudden I would be like, everyone just uploaded to YouTube. And then they would click on the link and we
Yeah,
would be in the same room. How exciting
exactly.
would that
That would
be?
be so much
That'd
fun.
be so good. And then like, I don't know, we could do fun things. I can't think of any fun things.
That's like when
But we would
people
do
that's
that.
like when people say they want to visit New York, where should I go? And I'm like, I don't
Mm.
know. Like does it look like I'm a tourist person to you? Like
I feel like if I was in New York, I would just be happy with the fact I was in New York. I wouldn't even need to do anything. I would just be like, wow, it's a different country. Like I just even airports excite me. Like when I get off a plane in a different country, it's like, wow, everyone has a different accent and like there's different money. Like I just find going abroad so exciting.
I love
I
that.
wish I could do that more often. If I was rich, that is what I would do all the time. I
Just
would just,
travel all the
I,
time.
yeah, I mean, that wouldn't really be good for my carbon footprint, but I also need to explore. So maybe I could get like a boat
Mm.
and just like a paddling boat. No, I complain about my 30 minutes minute bike ride and it really own boat to New York. Yeah, maybe not the best idea. I would love to go though.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would just be happy enough with being there. Like, I don't know, as long as someone took one photo of me to prove I was there, I'd be happy doing anything.
See, I live in the boring part of New York, so nothing exciting goes on.
It would
around
still
here.
be exciting to me. I'd be like really excited hearing everyone with different accents to me.
Oh yeah, probably.
Like,
yeah.
And like I would go to a shop and I would pay with dollars instead of pounds. Like that is
I
quite
think
cool.
I might actually still have some UK money here. I have a cup full of money from
Oh,
foreign
no.
countries. This is Korean money.
Oh wow.
I can't really see it. It's Korean money.
Well, it's impressing me.
What else do we got here? I think this might be Jamaican.
Oh wow. You've really got money from everywhere.
Oh wait, no, this is 2 pence.
Nice. I've got some of that. That's like all I have.
This is more Korean money. This is 100. What
You
else is in
really
here?
have experienced Korean culture.
Oh yeah, I got to go there twice actually.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's so
I went there once on a grant, and that was like interesting because I only knew like one person who was also going on the trip, who was from my school,
Wow.
and then I went again with my school, and that was
Yeah.
fun because then I had friends there with me, like actual friends that I knew.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Mhm.
I bet it was great there.
Yeah, it's a really nice country,
Yeah.
and it's really beautiful place to be too.
Mhm.
I think this might be English money as well.
Nice.
Yeah. We have just
I
like
have
a bunch of
that.
coins here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Every bit of money I get, I spend, so I don't have a cup of coins.
Oh, this is just like I forgot these were in my pocket when I came back from the place and I forgot to
Yeah,
go to the
fair enough.
machine. So I just
When I'm in
have
the
it.
country and I have like their money,
Mhm.
I feel like under so much pressure to spend it all before I come back.
Oh, really?
I get to like the last day of me being in that country and then I panic and buy a load of stupid stuff from like a souvenir shop. And I come back with stuff that I didn't even want and I could have just exchanged the money when I got back home. But I'm always like, must spend the money.
The 1,000. This is 1,000 in Korea. Like 1,000. I forget what the money is called because I haven't studied Korean culture in a long time. 1,001. That's what it's called. But it's like $1 in a U.S. money.
Nice.
I feel so worried about Korean culture because I studied it for like 4 years, so I have like all this like knowledge about it. But then I didn't
Yeah.
study it at all in college, so like I just have all this random knowledge about this country, and I like barely remember the language.
That's really cool. It's just like a thing that not many people know about. So it's like, I don't know, it's just really cool that you know all of that.
Yeah, but I will say I did not like the high school that much. It wasn't the greatest
Didn't
experience.
you?
Yeah,
No, that sucks.
yeah.
But at least you know Korean stuff.
I will also say it like made me have because I think K-pop is like just becoming very popular now, but like I just associate that with high school, so it's very hard for me to just get into it at all.
hmm I can see why that would be hard, yeah. I ended up getting into it when in like 2018. I feel like it was still a little bit weird to like K-pop back then. Like now I feel like lots of people are more open to listening to it, but I remember at the time you would listen to it and everyone would like kind of make fun of you for it,
Mhm.
which was weird because it was still good music.
Yeah.
Like I guess some people aren't open to listening to things that are a bit different to what they're used to.
Mhm.
So they found it funny, but so now when I listen to K-pop, I feel like kind of nostalgic. I picture myself like a few years back, so that's kind of weird. Like I'm not really into it anymore now. Everyone else is kind of getting into it. But yeah, it's weird like how you associate it with your school, because your school was like so associated with Korean culture.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. And like I think I wasn't like that into K-pop, but because like my friends were really into it, I just like it's just like associated that way. And then I also think I watched like one Korean drama show, and it was like pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never watched any of those, but maybe I should give one a go.
They're very high intensity. Like
Are they?
there's like a lot going on in a Korean drama. There's like I feel like it's like a lot of relationship drama.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not good with high intensity things, am
Yeah.
I?
Well, not like high intensity and like it takes a lot of brain power to watch. It's very like a mind. It's like watching a reality show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've like literally said I'm gonna watch 20 different shows tonight, haven't I? Probably won't watch any of them, let's be honest. But
It's okay.
maybe one day
Yeah.
I'll be
Maybe.
bored and I'll be like, oh yeah, Jordan told me to watch this, and then
I feel like that's how I usually start watching stuff. I get bored enough, and then I'm like, all right, we're
Yeah.
starting it now.
Me too, actually. Someone will tell me something in the moment and I'll be like, nah, I'm never gonna watch that. And then I'll have this little voice in the back of my head like, Jordan liked this TV show. Watch this TV show. And then sometimes I'm like, yeah, they had a point. It's actually quite a good show. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I will continue with New Girl. Maybe.
It's a good show. I think it's really funny. My favorite character on the show is Nick, because
Which one is that?
he's like the guy with the beard, the gruffy
Oh,
guy
yeah.
with the beard.
Yeah, I know who that is.
He's like
Okay.
he's like so he's like wise, but also like in a weird way, where he'll say stuff and you're like, yes, I relate to that 100%, but also you're such a weird character. Like there's this Twitter account that's just out of context stuff that he says.
Oh, I've seen accounts like that for like different shows. They're funny.
Let me see if I can find one of the quotes, because he's so
Okay.
funny. Let's see. Come on. And Nick Miller.
Hmm.
Boo-boo. Okay, I found it. Oh, one is like, it is perfectly fine to watch TV all day, which, yes, I agree with.
That does sound like you.
Wait, this one says, where are you, Smith? This place is fancy, and I don't know which fork to... Hold on, it's really funny. It says, where are you, Smith? Which is another character. This place is fancy, and I don't know which fork to kill myself with.
I see where you're going with the relatable but weird.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, yeah, agreed, I get it. But he's so funny. Let's see. This tweet says lockdown house somehow made Nick Miller even more relatable. The quotes are, I just panic ordered $200 worth of Chinese food. I've been sleeping in
That sounds good.
I've been sleeping in my room for the last week. Sleeping. Oh wait, sorry, no. I've been in my room for the last week sleeping. And then drinking to forget, that's my sweet spot.
He sounds like a good character.
Yeah, he's
I
really
need
funny.
to stick with this show.
It's really funny.
I feel like it's gonna get better if I put in the effort.
Yeah, even if like you don't like the first season or whatever, you should skip to the second season, because it gets really good.
You know, I'm not minding the first season so far. I think I'm gonna continue with it. Put more effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like like put my finger and just like pick it up through, and then make myself watch it until I enjoy it, because I will enjoy it. It's one of, so far I've only seen like maybe 4 episodes, but they've all like made me laugh out loud, and that's like really rare for me. I don't sit and laugh out loud when I'm watching something myself. But like with this show, I have actually been laughing out loud, so that's always a good sign. So I think I'm gonna continue.
I think it's really, really good. I think the last season isn't that great because they kind of had to change the format a little because the main character who plays Jess, she got pregnant, so she had to go off the show for a second.
Oh, okay.
But like it has like a really nice, cute ending that made me cry. So it's a good show.
How many seasons are there even? I feel like there's quite a lot.
I think it's like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay. I can maybe do that. I can try.
And also, don't feel like pressure to like do it all in one go, because sometimes what I do with shows is that I'll just take breaks in between watching episodes.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something like a sitcom.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'll get really into something and then I'll have a break, and then one day I'll kind of like crave watching it again, and then I get back into another phase of watching it, and it's quite nice having a break. Like it makes it more of a continuous show instead of just one that I watch in one go and then forget about.
Yeah, I will say binge watching, that's the worst part about binge watching, is that you don't remember everything that happened because you just watch it all in one go. I one time for Stranger Things, when like I think it was the 2nd season that came out, I binge watched it like the night of. Like it came out at like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. No, it was midnight Pacific Standard Time. And I watched like the first 6 episodes straight and then went to sleep, went to classes, and then watched the last episodes.
No. Too intense.
But then it was like, because I think part of the reason why I did that is because I didn't want to miss out on anything, you know? Because everyone was like live tweeting it and I didn't want to get spoiled, which is another problem.
Yeah. Literally, when something new comes out, like for example when Taylor Swift released Folklore, I didn't want other people spoiling it before I'd listened to it, so I went on Twitter and I muted every word to do with Taylor Swift. It was like Taylor Swift, Folklore, Reputation, 1989, every single word that was slightly related to her I made sure I had muted. Even though I love listening to Taylor Swift, I didn't want Twitter spoiling it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have so much random stuff muted on Twitter just for my own enjoyment, so I can enjoy things by myself without like other people's opinions and other people watching things before me ruining it. Because as much as I love Twitter, I feel like sometimes there are some things that I like to just do by myself without feeling like I'm part of this giant fan base.
Yeah.
Like I know sometimes it's all like us saying before about how like we wanted to be unique. Sometimes I just want to appreciate something alone without everyone else live tweeting about it and me panicking like, oh no, I don't feel the same way. And like, yeah, so I feel like it is good when you mute things on Twitter in a way, because you can like tailor it to be more suited to you. Yeah.
I feel like with Twitter in general, it's like a good place to like congregate to like where people are like sharing like a lot of their opinions, but like if at certain points you don't want their opinions, it's good to mute people.
Yeah.
I think I usually don't mute things for that reason though. I usually mute things that are annoying me. Like, oh, you guys are talking way too much about this and I don't care at all, so I'm muting this.
Yeah, there's a certain topic which I won't bring up in case anyone watching enjoys it, but something the last couple of days has been completely filling my Twitter feed and I have no interest in it. So this morning I did what was best and I muted every single word to do with it. So they're probably still talking about it loads, but at least it doesn't annoy me anymore.
Right, yeah, same. It's just it's nicer that way.
Yeah. That I just wish real life was a bit more like that. I would quite like a mute button on certain topics.
Yeah. Just like, don't talk to me about this thing. I'm good, thanks.
Too much effort. I feel like that is just a Black Mirror concept though, like the idea that I could mute topics in real life. That maybe in the future we'll be able to do that,
That's
maybe.
scary.
And then people will be on their live streams like complaining that kids these days are brought up being able to mute words. Like how we were complaining about flip phones
Oh
not being
yeah.
used more.
What do you? It's so weird to think about how much technology has advanced in the
It
past like
is moving
decade.
so quickly.
Because like, what's gonna happen in the next decade? That's gonna be like, oh, remember that thing we used to do in like 2010 or like
Yeah,
2019? Like, oh my gosh.
we're going to be those old people who have no idea how to use modern technology.
Yeah,
We're going to be sat there like, ooh, Candy Crush, and then they're like showing us some cool stuff.
and we're
Mm.
gonna be like, huh, I don't get it. How does this work?
We're going to be sat like in our rocking chairs listening to Lord, and everyone's going to be like, ooh, what's that old-fashioned music?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I think
Think
I think that's also, but I think that a lot of the problems that we're having like with technology, with older people learning technology, is like a huge like design issue, and
Yeah.
like uh something I feel like needs to be talked about more in like the tech space, because
Mm-hmm.
so there's certain things that you grow up with that you realize like there are certain symbols for things, so that you understand like that's the purpose of that thing. For example, like if you see three dots in a corner, you're like, oh, that's for
Yeah.
more options, but like an older
Mhm.
person wouldn't necessarily know that. So
Yeah.
like there needs to be some way to tailor it so that more people, but
Yeah.
I also feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like our generation is way more inquisitive about technology and just pressing stuff in order to figure out how things work. Or I feel
Yeah.
like older people are not willing to like just click things and just try to figure it out on their own. They have to have someone tell them how it works.
Yeah. Lots of people can just see like a smartphone and be completely freaked out by the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
It's just so different to what some people were brought up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is kind of crazy that if you accidentally click a button, you can call anyone.
Yeah.
Like, I had my
go
my
ahead.
phone the other day was I was on my bike and I'd accidentally like pressed the button whilst I was on my bike without realizing,
Mm-hmm.
and then my phone started going 5, 4, 3, and then luckily I stopped it on 2, but it was going to like phone emergency services
Oh
just
my
because
gosh.
I know that would not have been very good, but I stopped it with 1 second to go.
Oh my god.
So that was quite stressful. Yeah.
I think about my like my older cousin who
Yeah.
accidentally blocked people on his phone and didn't
Oh
realize.
no.
He's like, why am I not getting certain calls? And we're like, Larry, it's because you blocked the person. And he didn't realize because he's like so old.
Uh-huh. I'm a bit like that though. I have no excuse to be bad at technology, but I still manage to be a bit bad.
I feel like you're not the only one though. There's like, I have like a good amount of friends who just don't get how technology like works, which is understandable. I mean, I get it because I wanted like my job to be in the tech realm.
Mhm.
So like I guess I like understand certain things, clearly.
Yeah,
But like I feel like the average person doesn't really get everything.
definitely. I definitely don't get everything.
But I feel like
Sorry, I'm talking a load of nonsense.
no, I feel like then it's like up to the people who are making the technology to make sure that they do get it,
Yeah. I definitely think there's a long way to go before technology is accessible for all different types of people.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like there was the issue recently where people weren't really happy with TikTok because YouTube, it's so easy to get captions on things,
Mm-hmm.
and people can submit their closed captions, whereas on TikTok, creators are having to like type in their own because there isn't that sort of feature there.
Yeah.
So lots of things still need to be improved on to make it.
And the sad part about TikTok is that something like that wouldn't be hard to implement because it's been
No.
done so many times already. Like it wouldn't be
Yeah.
perfect, but like having a way that people can kind of like edit it and like
Yeah,
but something
definitely.
like the base already exists would be
Yeah.
I think useful.
Yeah, it would help so many people, but hopefully that's something that can be changed soon.
Yeah, I think that's like another thing talked about a lot in tech design is like making sure things are accessible for different groups of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's something important that companies should build in early on, but a lot of people don't think about that until later on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the thing with the YouTube with their captions of you not being able to submit it anymore, I didn't even know that it's
Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize
thought,
that because they responded to someone talking about that and they're like, no, we're not getting rid of it like forever. We're just updating it so that it's better for the like on the person who's creating stuff side for them to edit because the current version that's
uh,
on YouTube is like kind of sucky. Like
mm,
the way that you add in captions, it's like I've done it before and it's very like old and not
uh,
modern. So I think what they're
yeah.
doing is that they said that they can't switch things up while that feature is still available for everybody. So they have to take it away, update
Uh,
it, and then release it back into the public, which makes sense to me.
that makes sense.
Which makes sense to me as a person who like does technology or stuff like who's like in
Yeah.
the technology space because that makes sense. Like oh, sometimes you can't update things while they're still available to the public, right? But like that wasn't made very clear to me from the articles that were being published about it. And I
Mm,
still think it's unfortunate because it does make it harder for people who need the captions to like gain
yeah.
easy access to them. But I also understand from the tech company's point of view why they have to do that. Like they don't have any control over that. That's probably just how like the system is built or whatever. Um and I think that um I don't know. It's just interesting because I feel like a lot of the issues come down to like communicating what needs to be done from like a tech company standpoint, and I think for at least for certain things a lot of the general public don't understand that stuff, but I like get it, you know, and there needs to be more transparent communication about those types of things.
Yeah. This is like the first time I'm hearing of like the reasoning behind them taking it away. So,
Yeah,
I mean, now you've explained it, it makes sense. But yeah, hopefully,
it's not great that that has to happen, but
yeah.
I like get why it has to happen, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I hope everything can be more accessible eventually.
Mhm.
And I hope people who bring out technology will consider that before they bring it out. Instead of, because obviously TikTok, for example, is like such a widely used app and so many users, so many updates, and they still haven't managed to.
I honestly, in my opinion, with TikTok, I don't think they have like a lot of good faith actors in that mobile app. I do think, especially with like the past of them talking about limiting creators who are not white and cis and normative.
Mm,
Um, like I do think that's not like an accident of the app. I think that's like intentional, personally,
yeah.
and I think that's a lot of the reason why I don't like that app because I don't think there's like a lot of good faith actors in there. Whilst with YouTube, I don't think all the time that they mean to do some of the stuff that they do, it is like not always great the things that they do, but I do think some they're not like working from a bad place, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So
There have been many things that have happened on TikTok that have seemed a bit too suspicious to just be an accident.
mm-hmm.
Like for example, videos that use the word gay, if it's not censored, it gets shadow banned and it won't even show up just because it's got that one word in it.
Yeah.
So that, like, for example, that, and there's so many other creators from who are being blocked, and it's not fair. And there's definitely like a certain type of person, like you were saying, like white cis, other stuff. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
my blank. I'm tired,
it's okay.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it seems like all of the creators who managed to get really popular, there lots of them are of a very similar type of person.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
can't get the words. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I do think I don't know. That's why I don't really like TikTok as an app. I feel like they need like
Mm.
I don't know if there's a way to like fix that app because I don't think there's like good intentions behind that app. Even
Mm.
though it is like very popular now. So the only thing
Yeah.
you could probably really do is like advocate for like some sort of change on the app. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, tech design is like really interesting in the way that the choices people make. I was just thinking about Among Us, and how you know how in Among Us they have those like wires,
Yeah.
and I think somebody, I don't know who brought it up, but I think later down the line they realized that that's not accessible for people who are colorblind because might
Uh,
not be able to tell the colors
mm.
between different things. So now they have like little like images on top of the ones that are
Mm.
the supposed to be the
That's
same
good.
color, like little like triangles or circles or X's, so
Yeah.
that it's easier for people to do it that way. And it's like, see, that's such a small thing that's so helpful.
Yeah.
And
It's
like,
good that they listened to their feedback and
yeah,
made it more accessible.
so like I think just like making sure like you have someone on your team who's like aware of those things is like super
Yeah,
important.
definitely.
Yeah.
Has it passed the time now? I think it's
Yes.
past the time.
And
I can't even.
we've been live for like 3 hours. I think we're good. I
Wow.
think we're gonna end it.
Thank you for letting me I can't even speak. Thank you for letting me stream with you. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it was fun. I had a good time.
Me too. It was nice to hear things from a different perspective, and it was nice to have some new Netflix recommendations. And no, it was really fun.
It was
So
nice to
thank
have
you.
like a little chat, and like
Yeah,
I feel like this was good.
yeah, me too. Thank you. Do you know how to end the live?
Yes,
Because
I
I
do
don't.
know how to end the live. So let's just say bye.
Thanks. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Okay. It's done.